All right, guys. We got Dragon Kaiser Gaming's hero up here in the top left side of the map playing a big best of 7 against REYNOR. They've played a few times recently, and it's been fireworks from start to finish. REYNOR in the bottom right usually takes the stance of a more macro-oriented player, but he doesn't really go Broodlords or Lurkers very often. He likes to hang on lair tech. And we know Hero is a crazy aggressive player, so it's a match made in heaven for very fun games. It's going to be good. Gateway does go down on the natural. Interestingly that he didn't scout until after the gate. Wow, that's kind of rare for Hero. Normally, Hero's like, I'm going to block your base, or I'm not. Or I'm going to go for a... Oh, is he... Wait, where's he clicked? Where's he clicked this probe? Looks like he's just going in the main. Never mind. Yeah, normally he's going to block you, or he's not going to scout, and he's going to go gas first and be really greedy. This is a kind of in between. This tells us he's worried because he has not been scouting. I think the last series they played, he didn't scout a lot. And he probably thinks, oh, REYNOR might open up with a 12 pool to punish me for that. I better play safe. Oh, it's a fake cannon rush. It's a fake cannon rush. He messed up the cannon rush in a recent series that he was playing, didn't he? Wait, was that? Oh, yeah, he did, didn't he? He messed up a cannon rush we recently saw. Oh, he gets a drone pull? That's pretty good. That's a good disruption. That's well worth the pylon minerals. His Nexus goes down there behind that. He did go core before Nexus, though. Wait, why is he going core before Nexus? That usually indicates double adept pressure very early. And REYNOR will know this. He's going to be like, whoa. Cybercore started before the Nexus. So he's going to probably put 3 workers on gas and go no third base. Make 4 queens, 8 zerglings, and basically just play really safe. Sorry, I didn't hear the chrono boost sound there, and I realized it's just because my screen was elsewhere, so I toggled the sound there to check we could hear in-game sound, which of course we can. Do we see a second chrono boost? Normally, you really want to double chrono if you go core first, but he's only gone for a single. Hero's build is confusing. Because essentially, he gets 1 adept over here earlier than normal, but that's it. And REYNOR didn't react with the fast link speed. He's still going 4 queen, but he's going 4 queen third base. I kind of feel like if you rush 2 adepts across, you can maybe punish him, but he's not invested in it. It's purely probe focus. This is kind of confusing. To me, it says Hero wanted to have the option to punish really hard, realized this was a 15 hatchery, 15 pool, and decided it wouldn't really pay off. So he's kind of just chilled now. He said, okay, I'll just do some light pressure. And actually, Robo Twilight. Okay, so he's going to go for the Glaive Adept again. An opening that Hero has used excellently in the recent games. Shading towards that main base. 4 lings there. We've got 4 queens, 4 zerglings, the Adepts. Ooh, they're into that main base. There's only 2 lings. Okay, 4 more lings do pop. Great defense by REYNOR. If he can get rid of these, that'd be great. Gets rid of 1 adept. The other one will escape. Oh, Queen's getting a few more hits. Glaives has started, and a 3rd, 4th gateway are going down. That's interesting. 2nd, 3rd, 4th gateways all building at the moment. REYNOR's on 33 workers, dead even. To stark contrast to some of the ZVP series recently we've been watching, where Hero is far ahead in the workers for most of the game, but I really feel that delayed Nexus is hurting him. He's now cutting probes at 35. I don't think the core before Nexus is needed to get this tech up fast. So I don't like his build order particularly, but I'm curious to see what timing he can hit with it, because it may be a pretty brutal adept timing. The fact that he had a slight gap in his probe production hints at that. But now he's going up to like 39 probes, maybe higher. Overlord will go down, which is nice. A couple of adepts are moving out. Only zerglings on the defense. Roachhorn started at 4 minutes and 3 seconds. Not a bad timing. 2nd and 3rd gas goes down here. That's interesting. 2nd and 3rd gas. Wait, did he cancel link speed? He never started link speed. Oh, he's trying to defend. Oh, it's just roaches. Oh, wow. Why such a late Roachhorn? Oh, REYNOR has been so greedy. He has to wall off. He can't defend this unless he walls off. Oh, man. Oh, he has to double Evo wall to stop the Shades getting in. 5 queens at the front, ready to fight. I think the Adepts could take them down. I think the Adepts, because they'd only be fighting 3 queen DPS at a time, could absolutely do it. 2nd Evo chamber, 3rd one does get taken out. Or cancelled, sorry. He rebuilds them. The queens are going to come over and try to defend this base. Oh, this was such a greedy start, though. if you're skipping Ling speed, you need to get your Roach Warren up at like 330. REYNOR got it very late, and he's getting punished for this. I've talked about this opening being kind of greedy and how he's gotten away with it a lot, but Hero seems to have found the answer, which is mixing in a Glaive Adept opening. It's safe against Oracles. It's not safe against Twilight, and REYNOR's getting punished. Big damage going down there in the main base. Roaches start to fall. Drones getting caught as they transfer. Nice focus fire here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This might just be game over. This might be a very quick game one. Adept Shade out of there. Look at that. He's got a few more Adepts ready to redrop the main. I like that he leaves an Adept bind. It'd be cool if that focus fired. I guess just its Shade was off cooldown. Third base taking a ton of damage. It's getting big damage on it. If that goes down, it's a problem. Behind this, a Forge and Disruptors as well as Speed Prism are on the way. Oh, he shaded away too early. That's going to survive. 28 point hatch rate, but you could always come back for it later. It's so weak, you could sneeze on it and it would go down. Queens. Oh my god, Hero! He's going to lose a full Prism. Oh, unnecessary. At least he does take out that third base. Losing the Prism, though, does take a little bit of the shine off this otherwise fantastic opening. Forge finished up right now. 4 gateways are on the way. REYNOR's going to go Roach Speed +1 range, and he will try to re-drone and reclaim his third base, but right now does not have a lot going for him. On the other hand, if he could surprise Hero with a big Roach Speed timing, there's no Stalkers out, it's just the Disruptors. Could maybe, if REYNOR can find a way to deny the third base and then drone behind it, it'd be good. I just don't think he has enough Roaches. He's droning up right now. He's trying to drone up while taking the third. And I kind of feel like he should just be building Roaches. Because if he doesn't slow down Hero takes the third, Hero probes up, REYNOR will be in trouble. That being said, no probing right now for Hero. He's happy with the worker advantage he has. Observer gets picked off. Adepts are going to shade in. Roaches are on top of it. Good cancel on that. The Speed Prism hunting right now. Hero wants to drop Trousers and unload that heavy load onto REYNOR's face. REYNOR knows about it. He will be looking to dodge. I doubt he gets caught by this one. He's got enough Roaches to focus fire that. Oh, the Adepts are going to try and distract. Oh, you're so crazy, Hero. Hero is such a crazy guy. He goes in with the Adepts to distract. Oh, he goes for the double ball. He's going to have to cancel one of the pickups. The other shot lands on nothing. Does save both Disruptors. Only gets 5 drones. Great defense there by REYNOR. Hero really trying to force the issue a bit more than was necessary. He's got a third Disruptor out. 4th one's on the way. He's going to go second Forge because he's obsessed with second Forge recently. About to be at 7 gateways. Doesn't have many units, though. Few Stalkers are now out. Disruptors are going to drop. They do take out 3 Roaches. Not bad. REYNOR's in a huge spot of bother. Is not enough. He's in a huge disaster warehouse right now. He's stuck filming The Room with Tommy Wiseau. He's in a weird situation. He's got to make the best of it. Oh my gosh, REYNOR trying to dodge. He's so afraid of that Disruptor shot. Queens could maybe, if the Queens can shut down that Prism, maybe get a surprise snipe on it or something. Maybe, but oh, balls. Nope, Hero keeps them loaded in for now. Stalker Disruptor moving down the left. This is an oddball timing. 3 base, mass Stalker Disruptor. REYNOR is all in, but he's all in defensively right now. He's waiting for Hero to come in and overcommit. He's hoping he can break this army with a big surround, but it's not that big a surround. It's only a few Roaches. He doesn't have the numbers. He needs mass Ling Ravager now. Because Ling Ravager is nice and mobile. You can use Biles to punish the Disruptors when they cast their shots. The Lings are very good at absorbing the Stalker shots and coming in very easy to dodge Disruptors with Lings as well. We say as a bunch of Lings go down to a Disruptor shot. Disruptor shots really just being timed out very nicely. Hero dodges. Another Disruptor shot goes forward. These 4 Disruptors are empty right now. And when the balls are empty, that's when the Zerg gets in there. Nice recall. He does recall about half of this army. The rest still is there and fighting. 1 Disruptor goes down almost instantly. Quite a few probes are falling. REYNOR making the best of a messy game right now. He's going to force Hero back on the left. Roaches in the main. Roaches in the natural. The Stalker's F2'd back out of there because he doesn't use control groups. Oh, Hero losing 16 workers entirely unnecessarily. They call him the comeback kid for a reason. REYNOR just went from completely dead to maybe. Oh, but as I say it, Hero lands a big Disruptor shot, but at what cost? He's going to lose the Disruptors for this. There's no way those Disruptors get home. REYNOR doesn't have the confidence to chase, though. And it's probably the right call. The Ravagers losing those would be the end of this kind comeback attempt. 52 workers against 56. Remember, their mains have mined out. So they're both mining their third at a relatively even amount. It's not a big income advantage for Hero. Even though Hero's been up in workers for a long time. He lost 16 workers. They're both on 3 bases that are starting to mine out. REYNOR is actually like, look, as long as I win the fights, there's still hope here. Transfuses start to go down on their Ravagers. Bile spreading across, but great spreadies from Hero. And the balls come in from behind. In the rear with the big ball gear. That disruptor shot does get dodged. REYNOR does not have the Lings to surround. But wait, what? Lings just ran in the wide open door yet again. Hero leaving his door open. Oh man, I'm having a flashback to, I think it was a Pigfest interview. Maybe actually it was with Dark, where he was playing Hero in the next round, and we were kind of joking. He was saying, I really don't want to play Hero. He's so hard to play against. And I was like, well, you know, you can just run Lings into his base, right? Because there's never a unit in the wall. And Dark kind of just giggled and was like, had like a knowing smile. And he's like, you know, it's surprising. You'd think it would work every time, but somehow Hero still wins the games when you do that. And I was like, I don't know about this time though. He's literally just given the advantages away for no good reason at all. Overcommitted to the Stalker Disruptor, had no vision at home, left his wall wide open twice. And now REYNOR's up 10 workers and he's got a good army. And it really is just such a problem that pops up over and over again in Hero's games. Good split on the Queens, only loses one of them. Hero can't get a 4th base right now. His army is not progressing either. He's got 2-1 upgrades, but he's making a single Colossus. Yeah, I mean, if REYNOR wins this game, it is a disgusting comeback. The funny thing is that the last time they played, you know, it was Hero threw away a few of those games. Man, like the triple Forge build getting scouted is going to live in his mind rent-free. But Hero, he's always played that dynamic style. Everything he does is such extreme high risk. Even when he's ahead, he never shores up his bets. He never hedges. He always YOLOs. You know, there's people out there who invest in static, you know, index funds. They're like, I'll just have the market, a slice of the market. Hero is the guy who invests all of his money on weird altcoins that you've never heard of. He's like, it's Spider Coin. It automatically generates GIFs. It's like a, you know, it automatically generates GIFs of Spider-Man shooting webs. It's called Spider Coin. I'm gonna put all my money on that. And you're like, okay. It's with penny stocks if he was in the old days. You know, he's the kind of guy who's like, I have the biggest collection of random weird collector product you've ever seen. He's like, no, man, the price is just going to go up. I bought a $300,000 original copy of Mario Kart for Nintendo, and I'm going to sell it for $1 million in 2 years. And you're like, It gives Hero the ability to make comebacks. It also gives him the ability to throw away advantages because he does an unnecessarily risky decision. REYNOR has found him with the counterattacks. REYNOR's up 13 workers. Baneling's rolling in. If Hero pulls quickly, he can be good, but he's not reacting. Hero! Oh, a little slow on the pull, and he didn't mineral walk it. Luckily, REYNOR didn't micro it that well either. Mostly blew up on the Stalker. Could have been a lot worse. Hero just got away about as lucky as he could have. He's going for a giant all-in. Remember, he was miles ahead in the early game, and he's still ahead now. REYNOR has actually overdroned. REYNOR does not have enough Roach Ravager Bane to defend this, I don't think. That is 41 Stalkers, 3 Colossus, 4 Disruptors. And remember, he has 2-1 upgrades against 1-1. His upgrades are better. First Disruptor shot gets about 4 of those Banelings. Second Disruptor shot only gets a Creep Tumor. Ling Bane coming in. REYNOR forced to fight. His Lings coming in with the flank, but so many force fields joining in. The Colossus tank most of those Disruptor shots, taking out a few of those Ravagers. The Stalkers and the Colossus pulling back. Hero just had such a massive army supply lead. And it was not a terrible engagement for REYNOR, but Hero decisive enough to finish it off despite all of his efforts to the contrary. All right. Game 2 for REYNOR. I gotta say, it's always encouraging if you can get that much damage done when you were as dead as he was off that opening. REYNOR going for the 15-15 again. I think he'll be doing a lot of that single worker on gas build. Hero has opened up gas first, my friends. This gateway, normally a gateway starts at 37 seconds. This one started, you can line it up here, 20 seconds ago on 1:07. So it's a 47-second gateway. That might even slow his Cybercore down from starting by a couple seconds. 3 workers on gas. Wait. Guys, with a gas first, you don't need to pull off minerals onto gas. You can actually just put the 16 on minerals, and you can still get your Stargate on time. Unless you want to go Adept, Warp Gate, and Stargate all at the exact same time. I think the minerals is more valuable part of the build. I should ask Custom about this, because I know he's a big gas-first connoisseur. He has the build really well refined. Anyways, I mean, you end up here at 16 on minerals, 3 on gas anyway. It's only a little bit of minerals or gas either way. But just because you have an extra probe at home, because you're not scouting with this gas-first build, that's why it works this way. Pylon, I like that pylon positioning. Lots of building space here, and hard for them to scout in the back of your base. And he's just mining a bit of minerals from his natural. That's never worth, guys. If you want to get more minerals, you want to stack that worker on one of these faraway patches just to get a little bit of extra mining in between these two workers trading places. You'd think there's not a lot of time there, but because they decelerate before they get there, you actually get a few seconds of extra mining on it, and it's way more efficient than running all the way to the natural and back. REYNOR has got 2 workers on gas this game, so he's not going for the just 1 worker on gas. Ah, and he's even rallying a 3rd on. Okay, I like this build. He's going to have a very delayed 3rd base. Oh, I don't like that. No inject on the natural. Oh, he must be going for a quick 3rd, actually. Like maybe 3 minutes. I think 3 minutes on the dot. Because the thing is, normally it's very important to get your lava inject here if you're staying 2 base and to get lots of drones out. He's checking for proxies. Oh, he knows who he's playing against. You can tell REYNOR's been preparing really well. I wonder if Basilisk have any coaching staff, because I really feel like Serral and REYNOR are just so well prepared for their opponents lately. Serral has always been well prepared, but REYNOR especially, it feels like there's been a level up in that preparation for each opponent. There we go, 3 minute and 4 second 3rd base. Yeah. So if you're going to both get Ling speed and a 3rd base, you can't really afford that and 4 queens with a 15-15. So he skipped the inject and said, no, I'll do that, but I'll just use it to get early creep control. And if you have more creep out, it allows you to shut down Adept and Oracle pressure a bit more, because the Adepts obviously get spotted much earlier, and your Queens have more mobility between your bases. The only thing he's missing is creep connecting main to natural. But you can see it's only a tiny gap. So you can see the Queen's off creep for like 1 second. It's not a big deal. Overlord on the pillar will get taken out. We've got 2 more gateways. Wait, what? What are we doing? Guys, why is he playing 3 gate? Hero... Hero's going to do a 6 Adept with no glaive pressure. It's going to be cute. This is very, very cute. Maybe 7 Adepts even. So, the thing is, that is expensive. What? This is a bizarre build order, this is. So he's got a second Oracle building. I imagine we hide Adepts here. Warp in behind the wall. We'll see in a moment. 2 Adepts warping in the main base, 3 Adepts, yeah. So he's going to hide them, and he'll join up with 7 Adepts. We'll come across the map in a little while with 3 or 4 Oracles. It's just a way of changing up the opening to make it a bit weird. Hard for the Zerg to read, hard for them to be used to it. It's going to be hitting at a very odd timing. Faster than Glaives should finish, but slower than normally non-Glaive Adepts hit. And there we go, 3 more Adepts come in. Should shade all 7 of these out across the map now. Oh, he's going to get spotted. The Stalker's trying to deny the Zergling. He's like, I gotta hide this, I gotta hide this, I gotta hide this. There's only 14 Zerglings. If you join up 3 Oracles, 7 Adepts, they can do pretty well. They're hitting so late that it's not like it's the crispest timing, but it is the most surprising timing, and that's what Hero almost always prioritizes, is surprise over efficiency. I think it's the right way to do it here. 3 Oracles and 7 Adepts going in towards those bases. He's gonna clear some creep, start to put on some pressure. More Lings are building. It's a Baneling nest. REYNOR trying to get very greedy. Potentially thinking about going Hydras as well, skipping that Roach Warren entirely. So far, well defended. Oracle's coming in, but there's 3 Queens and a Spore there. He's got to move those Lings back to the front, though. Queens are well positioned. Oracles do not want that fight. Takes a little bit of damage. Oh, REYNOR baits him in by hiding the Zerglings. Quickly pulls the drones. He loses 3 drones in total, but the positioning is good enough. I think that's actually good for Hero, not for REYNOR. That works out in his favor. Yeah, a couple drones going down there. Ooh, cancels the shade, keeps focusing these drones. Stasis traps going down. You can't focus all of them. Yes, he can. Zerglings have very high damage. Yes, they can. The stasis trap's not really doing it. The Adepts will go down, but 11 workers ain't half bad. The last Adept does shade in. It's going to take out a drone before it goes down. Not too bad. 12 workers in total. Second Stargate Fleet Beacon charge. Okay, Hero's doing a meme build. Now, in the past, I've hated Hero's meme builds. I think his carrier builds historically have sucked. We can go back to Gamers 8 and you can watch, or go look up any of the videos from Gamers 8 from the middle of last year, and you will see Hero throw more 1 games by going carriers than I've ever seen before. And it's not that going carriers is bad, it's that Hero's carrier attacks were the worst carrier attacks I've seen in his entire career in that tournament. And he hasn't really changed my mind since then about being suddenly a good player at using carriers. This, though, I actually have hope for. I want to counterpass Pig who said that. And I want to say, hold on, he's going charge and +1 at the same time. This is not just mass carrier. This is a hybrid build. So it's not just Sky Toss. It's not I'm turtling to Storm. It's I'm going carriers and charge. And I think he's basically just doing a 4 carrier timing. Just when I'm getting excited and giving him props. I want to point out, not only is the 4th kind of late for this style, but that's acceptable. There's no +1 air attack. The most important thing for carriers is to get those upgrades. If you don't get those upgrades, especially with a Carapace coming in, they're not going to be that effective. It's the most important thing when playing Sky Toss. Estrella recently beat Clem with a fantastic Sky Toss build from way behind. He's done it twice, I think, recently. Twice? No, the second time he lost. But he's tried it in a few different series, and he immediately starts +1 when he starts the Fleet Beacon. And he has +2 by the time he hits 4 carriers, and it's like a beautiful timing. Hero, he's kind of just getting carriers to almost muddy the waters, and nothing else. And that doesn't lead into a strong timing attack. That leads into a long-term play, where if he adds Psystorm, that would be great. If he adds extra tech, that would be great, but he's not doing that. This looks like an all-in, but he forgot the most important upgrade. He's just started it. Okay, if he can chrono that, he can still at least get +1 weapons finished in time for this push, but he needs to chrono that. I do worry that he's dragging this game out. Hero is not a very good carrier player. Compared to me, he's a god, even with carriers, but compared to the rest of his skill set, it is his weakest area of PvZ. REYNOR is going Hive, Spire, +2 melee, Baneling speed, and roach speed. REYNOR doesn't really like playing Hive tech, but he's a little bit more practiced in it than Hero. He definitely gets there more often. Oh, the carriers just revealed themselves to a single Zergling Scout. Oh, that's sloppy. Well, now REYNOR knows exactly what he's up against. Oh, that's very sloppy. Hero's making Storm, Shields, and +1 air weapons. Gold base does get taken out. I'm watching from REYNOR's vision, but I imagine he's just going to build 2 Vipers and then maybe 15 Corruptors, and that'll be his anti-air squad, and other than that, he'll just play Ravagerling Bane while adding air upgrades. But I'm watching from his view, because I'm not sure if he noticed the carriers. We saw it. Did he see it? He's defending the Oracles, pushing back the Observer. His 5th base on the gold was denied. He's taking a new one on the right side, just on the regular resource base. He is building more Queens right now, which I find a bit odd. Microbial Shroud plus Queens are pretty good at beating carriers defensively, but it's hard to attack with that army. Spire is about to finish. He didn't really look at his scout in the main base of Hero. Hero's going to 6 carriers right now. I would have loved to see Hero do a surprise Sky Toss hybrid ground timing. Air-ground hybrid is really hard to deal with. REYNOR seems to be playing Mass Queen Ultra right now. He's going to 14 Queens. Wow, okay, this is really interesting. So REYNOR's basically saying, I'm going to turtle and just do Ling Run buys. I'm not sure if he has Baneling speed, so we can use Banelings to blow up cannons and batteries if they're out as well, if they're clumped up. He could focus that, but he decides to run away. Sorry for casting first person for such a long time, guys. I just really wanted to get in REYNOR's head. It's an odd style that he's playing. It's really interesting. Yeah, he's building spores. So he's just going to keep building drones, killing them to build spores, build 10 more drones, build 10 more spores to get up his static. Hero's also just camping. Hero camping to late game is interesting because every time I've seen Hero do this and I go, cool, he's going to try to eke out the advantage in the long game. After 5 minutes of no action, he goes, oh, damn, they're not going to attack me? And then he just grabs his army and shoves it often into a very bad engagement. And to me, I want to see him change that story. Yeah, I want him to prove me wrong. Because I am a big Hero fan, I'd like to see him show he's actually an expert with his style now. Oh, nice snipe with the roaches, gets a full energy High Templar, that was cute. REYNOR smashes some Banelings in, but there's just too many cannons and batteries there. You can't take it all out. Notice how Hero spreads them out so that Banelings can't hit more than 2 buildings at once. +2 air weapons is on the way, +2 plasma shields. Hero's getting a pretty nice air army. We finally see the first Corruptors being built. No Vipers yet, and only a single Infestor. REYNOR's late game is peculiar lately. I feel like this man wins so many games with his Ling Bane counterattacks. He doesn't even need to really beat you in the frontal fight late game a lot of the time. Let's see if he can pull it off here. Hero's usually made of sterner stuff. Oracles and Zealots taking pretty good trades. I say pretty good trades, but that unit's loss tab is dead even right now. Okay, he wants to get rid of the roaches. The ultras are going to try to run in. Wouldn't mind him sacrificing those in the mineral line. Normally you want to run an ultra in, shift click the probes, but he's going to back off for now. Keep in mind, these ultras have 5 armor right now. 6 armor, in fact. And carriers, how much damage do they do? With +1, they do 6 times 2. So they're doing 0.5 times 2. 1 damage each time the interceptor shoots 500 interceptor shots to kill an ultralisk. Not a very quick way of clearing that out. Once he gets the upgrades even with the armor, it'll be a little better for Hero. But ultras are generally very good at tanking carrier shots. I like the multi-prong from REYNOR. This is really nice. Hasn't found crazy value yet. I like the Archons. Archon plus Shield Battery is one of the most efficient defensive forces you can use against melee units. Whether it be Zealots or Zerglings, Archons are very efficient against that. Greater Spires on the way. A few Vipers are being added in. REYNOR, happy to take his time. You know, it's weird. I said at the start of the series, Hero would be more aggressive. REYNOR would be a bit more willing to play macro, but would stay on layer tech. Both players are belying that trend already in Game 2 of this series. I think whoever wins this game gets a massive kind of confidence boost. Because for all intensive purposes, it's an even late game where you just get to see who's better in the late game. And if you prove, you know, you beat them in the late game in this scenario, the other guy's always going to be scared to go to this stage for the rest of the series with you. It's a very skill-oriented matchup. Even though it's incredibly patience-oriented, you have to be so slow and careful. It's why Serral looks so angry when he's playing this matchup and yet is so good at it. Because he doesn't like having to be so patient and take so long to defeat his opponent, even when he's beating them the whole time. But he still does it. He just knuckles down, he white knuckles it, says, fine, I'll do it. That's all. The Ultra's overwhelming. There's no supply up there. Hero pushes in. Hero pushes in. Parasitic bombs go down on the carriers. Microbus shrouds on the queens. Broodlord's trying to morph. Oh, massive carrier timing. Massive carrier timing. Dude. He might be taking out the base, but that's a lot of supply and things that don't shoot up. A lot of the interceptors died to the spore crawlers. The broodlords are trying to hit on the archons. If the carriers can take out the broods, the archons will kill everything else. And there might be enough carriers to beat these corruptors. There's 24 corruptors building. If they get above the archons can cover him. Hero might just win with a surprise timing attack. There was too much supply in roaches and ultras that could not help in this fight. They're still running around willy-nilly trying to help out. Stalkers have been warped in. These are no blink stalkers, by the way. Not the best unit to make in a bad position, but this is a great position, and anything that shoots will be good enough for Hero. Mass Corruptor Zergling being built right now. A few ultras coming out as well. It seems like REYNOR has been punched through, and that was actually a lovely timing by Hero, who just sensed, hey, your whole army is out of position. Yes, you get to kill a base, but I get to kill your whole army. And that trade is, of course, in his favor. That being said, you're on 4 base. Your income is less. REYNOR can bounce back. Good Eye Templar movement. Got ready for the feedback. Changeling saw it, so he does back away. I'd like to see some more Changelings as well as Overlord speed for REYNOR. Right now, those Overlords and Overseers are so slow. If an Archon's outrunning you, you know you need to do some cardio. Zerglings deny the Nexus in the top again. Looks like that one was not a kill, just a cancel. Oh, he abducts Mama, but the Vipers get feedback. He does lose Mama. Nice engagement. There's so much Storm and Archon. The Corruptors just cannot engage. REYNOR needs the Ultras to kill the High Templar and engage the Archons, and then the Corruptors can win the air war. Can he do it? He's going for it. Big storms on the Corruptors, but he does move right through them. There's no Parasitic Bombs, no Fungals. The Corruptors are getting savagely destroyed, but so are the Carriers. The Ultraling will lose on the ground. The Corruptors will lose in the air. Hero! I have to take it back. I have to take it back. I'm so happy. I'm actually so happy. I'm so happy. He actually just beat REYNOR in late game. REYNOR might not be a Serral. He may not be a late game expert. But the fact that Hero actually managed to just sense weakness and immediately dive, we saw him winning late game, not with a random YOLO. It was an attack that made sense. Now, if he committed to that attack and the whole army was there and REYNOR was set up defensively, obviously not great. But in this scenario, committing in made perfect sense. It was a really smart idea. It was Hero adapting to the situation, or at least I like to think it was. And right now, just mass Archon on the way. Lings are going to get destroyed. So many Archons morphing. And remember, the Ultras won't automatically attack the morphing Archons unless you click on them. So the micro here is very awkward with all these carriers up above you. Finally taking out these Archons, but the Ultras are all falling as well. Hero's money's pretty low. His army's not that big. Man, carriers suck at killing Ultras. Oh! Keeps a few Stalkers and an Archon alive. If he can take out the gold base, it's game over. That is the only bit of economy really remaining right now for REYNOR. REYNOR gets a carrier with an abduct. The Corruptors have to pull back. He can't engage in the open. 27 drones out there. Hero sees them running. Hero should chase those down right now. That is a massive amount of economy. You do not want to let those escape. You kill those, and REYNOR is basically forced to GG out. Corrupt is being zoned by Stalkers right now on the left. Blink is now finished at this point. Stalker Archon letting him escape. Oh, man. He's blinking after him. The 30 workers do get out of there. Hero's 5th base finally starts to rebuild. It's going to be an easy cancel. He should definitely take it on this side, on the south. Corrupted Viper going to get another pick off. Does lose the Viper, but carrier kill is worth it. Stalker Archon going to try and defend these carriers. Archon's coming from both sides. Looks like the Nexus got cancelled. It does get rebuilt. The Lings could go back and find more damage. Still 0 defense in the north. Hero and protecting and not protecting your expansions. Hero treats his expansions like a dad in the 1960s teaches his kid how to swim. It's where you pick them up, you chuck them in the pool, and you go figure it out. That's essentially what he does. He says, go, come on. They're like, Dad, there's 50 Zerglings that keep killing us. And he's like, just figure it out, man. Just figure it out. And you know what? REYNOR actually did not think he'd go for it again, so he has figured it out, man. I don't know why. Someone told me that story of learning how to swim when they grew up around that time, a long time ago when I was a kid. They're like, yeah, it was traumatic. And I was like, whew, that does sound scary. They're like, yeah. And then when you like recovered from spitting up the water, they'd chuck you in again. I was like, geez, this is just straight child abuse. This is not teaching your kid how to swim. Anyways, random weird stories aside. Sorry, guys, I've been casting for a long time today. The carrier Archon Immortal timing is brilliant. The Immortals are so good versus the Ultras. The Infestor gets popped. The carriers are trying to flank to deal with the carriers. There's just not enough Ultras to deal with this ground army. The Archons wreck the Lings. The Immortals wreck the Ultras. The carriers do fall to the Corruptors. And actually, oh, he didn't really stutter step the Immortal Archon for a while. Normally, you need to stutter step to wreck the Ultras. Instead, he does clear most... Wait, no. No. How is REYNOR ahead in supply? Wait. Was that all in? Oh my god. This is still a close game. This is still a close game. I thought this was over. Oh my god. REYNOR somehow clears the army with just a bunch of Ultra Zergling. There's no pylon up here. He's still making Stalkers, which are trash units against the Zerglings. They're not terrible. Oh my god. Oh my god, REYNOR unzips his fly. He says, have you ever heard about the Italian Sprite, mate? Hero says, what? There's a special Sprite in Italy? REYNOR unzips his fly and pees on him. Hero is like, oh my god, you Italians are disgusting, man. REYNOR says, you should come to our football matches. You'll be lucky if you don't get punched in the face or witness a car getting lit on fire, man. We don't like it when our teams lose. It's great. REYNOR is back in the lead. What the hell? How does he even have income? I thought after losing the gold base, he was dry, but I guess this base is still full of minerals, actually. I thought that was way more dry. Not much here. Okay, there we go. I still don't know how he's above 2,000 minerals, I was about to say. I guess these last 4 mineral patches did just disappear. So he's at 1,500, but damn, Hero should have taken this base so much earlier. Oh, my lord. Oh, and all these cannons just sitting there not doing anything. It's always a bummer in these scenarios where you're like, I really need cannons up here, not back here. It's always a risk to try to build all that static really far forward on your 5th base because it's dangerous in the period when you're building it. But if you get it up, it's way more useful than back on your 3rd and 4th base, right? So you know, you had cannon battery down here, for instance. Easy to say in hindsight, very hard to do in the game. Now, Neuroparasite did not get upgraded this game. Infestors can only fungal. But he's got... The fact is, he's still got 3 Broodlords. The 3 Broodlords plus the fungal... And then you engage with the Ultra Ling after you make him blink forward. This is so hard for Hero to deal with. Oh my gosh. Oh, the Stalker's getting fungled. Beautiful chaining of the fungals. No retreat for those Stalkers. And great micro for REYNOR. REYNOR finds himself back at double the supply. The efficiency off the charts. Damn it. I thought I got to, for once, say that Hero was a god and was winning the game with carriers, but he just failed to establish an economic advantage. Kept attacking in on creep. He overcommitted, trying to break REYNOR on the defense. REYNOR is a fantastic player at making comebacks. They call him the comeback kid for a reason, and you can never rest easy against him. There's always a chance of him making a comeback, man. It ain't over until the fat Zerg sings. And in this case, I'm sure REYNOR is singing with that comeback with a big smile on his face. A delicious comeback for REYNOR. Let's watch that last Ultra fight, dude. Oh, man. Did he just not rebuild High Templar? The Storm, right? Oh, he's just making Archons and Zealots. Because he thought that's all he needs to make. Imagine if he had some Storm for the Lings and the Corruptors. It even damages the Ultras, man. Oh, man. Oh, no. He's up 30 army supply. How does he lose this game? I mean, there's a lot of trash in his army, right? There is a lot of trash. He's got a bunch of Stalkers and Zealots. There's no Warp Prism here. There's also no need for him to attack, right? Like, REYNOR is literally running out of resources. All you need to do is take a 5th and a 6th base, and you're so far ahead. So you take this base and this base, and like and make more High Templar, and you literally can't lose. So there's a rule in ZVP, guys. If their opponent's making Ultra Corruptor, they are desperate. And in the long term, things will always get better for you and worse for them. I don't know if that's changed with the Ultralisks being 25 minerals cheaper. I don't think so. But that's going to be really weird, man. Why would you attack here? Why not wait for size? He thought he could win. It's Hero. If Hero thinks he will win, he will never take the safer option. That's just it. That's just it. We know why. The Infestors got caught at the front. They go down. Few Zealots split off and start dying. Zealots kind of suck versus Ultras. The Immortals are not focus firing the Ultras, guys. They're just shooting whatever. Which now, and they're not stutter stepping either. This is an awful and he's just blinking Stalkers on the Broods. This is such a bad fight. We have to look at units lost before this fight and units lost after this fight, because this is so bad for Hero. This is such a disaster, man. Okay, so at this point, Hero is 5,000 resources ahead in the units lost. He then decides, rather than making High Templar to rebuild Storm, to just shove in. Keep in mind, he never got his ground attack upgrades. He's only on +1. These Immortals could be doing 65 damage, they're doing 55. His Archons could be doing 48 damage, they're doing 39, or 47. They're doing 39 damage. REYNOR has 3-3. So the Zealots and the Stalkers are actually really bad units here against the Lings and the Ultras. And with only Archons to clear the Lings, no Psystorm, no feedbacks, the Carriers are the best upgraded units, but we've only got 2 of them. His army's really not that good quality. He's securing a new base. He has the better army. He can take another base off of this, get so far ahead. But he just thinks, oh, I'm ahead, I can win. And he's up 33 army supply. You'd think he could until you take into account the bad upgrade situation and the fact that he just kind of shoves on creep. Oh, this is a terrible fight. He kind of just A-moved, and then he blinks his Stalkers forward, right? We can see in real time what he's selecting here. Tries to pull back, he selects his gateways, selects his army, selects his gateways. He's clicking his carriers on the Broodlords. His Archons, he just control-clicked. Now he's control-clicking his Stalkers, he's blinking them and focus-firing the Broods. He's assuming his Immortal Archon has this. He now realizes they don't have this, and he starts stutter-stepping way too late. Oh, man. I'm telling you, when you're engaging stutter-stepped Immortal Archon with Ultras, it does not feel good as the Zerg, but if they just sit there, the Ultras are really quite decent. And now we check back in on the units lost, and it's gone from 5,000 resources advantage to 3,000 or 2,500 deficit. That is a 7,500 resource swing. And Hero once again proves everything that I've been talking about. Whenever he goes carriers, he always finds a way to take these terrible attacks that he doesn't need to attack. It wasn't even a carrier army, it was just a poorly upgraded ground army with no Storm headbutting. I'm kind of upset because it's unfortunate. If Hero stopped losing these 1 games, I don't think he'd lose this matchup to anyone but several. Oh, that's rough. I mean, at least the series is exciting. Now it's tied up 1-1, whereas otherwise maybe he'd run away with it. And you know what? I said whoever wins this game would be confident. But I think they both got boosts from this. Like, Hero shows he can beat REYNOR in late game. He also shows that he can throw the game no matter what. 2 games in a row, he's tried very hard to throw, and it ends up on 1-1. All right, what a crazy turnaround in that game, man. It took me a little bit to digest, but yeah, we forgot that Hero only had +1 ground attack in that last game, which is huge because he transitioned to late game ground army, but like, it wasn't really a late game army. It was a lot of Stalkers, a lot of Zealots. He had such a big advantage, but it was 4 base against 4 base, and there was just no need to attack into Spines, Spores, Queens, and those defensive Broodlords really seemed to take his attention. Hero took a 7,500 deficit engagement against REYNOR there, and yeah, definitely Hero, he just doesn't really play so well at the carrier stage of the game because he doesn't have the patience. And even though it worked so well with that first attack, REYNOR really was not expecting him to dive in. REYNOR fought back really well, came back, and I don't know if REYNOR's ZVP is that good. Looking at the way these games are going, he's kind of fallen way behind twice. And I'm wondering, like, has Hero kind of got his number in the early to mid game? Maybe. On the other hand, it's far from a foregone conclusion because Hero is so overly decisive that it does seem like he is very capable of dropping the ball, getting a bit too excited and going in a bit too deep. Yeah, I thought he had that one in the bag. That's why I kind of started just saying dumb analogies and talking about different things. I was looking at the army supply. You know, it looked like there was a decent spread of Archon Immortal. I definitely miscast that engagement, not realizing the lack of +2 attack, no Psystorm. And yeah, he really, it's just a lot of Stalker Zealot that aren't good units, especially the Zealots are worthless. If you got +3 armor Zerglings and Ultras, they do not care about Zealots. Those Zealots were pretty much worthless in those engagements, and Stalkers weren't much better either. You know, it's so accessible warping in Stalkers and Zealots. They're so easy to build, but they're not as good quality as those Immortals, those Archons. No High Templar there either. Twilight Council starts up, so it's going to be back to Glaives for Hero. Now, I think this looks a bit more like a Hatchcast pool, right? Third hatchery into Ling Speed. Wow, okay. Okay, this is a cool one. I don't mind this opening for REYNOR. Just going a bit more classic on the opening. Up against, of course, Hero's no scout build. Hero's going to have a crisp glaive timing, potentially. And that's why I'd like to see REYNOR go for a 3-minute 30 Roach Warren, put back on gas, and take a second gas. The thing is, does he realize that this is not a Stargate build? Because that seemed to be his issue earlier on, I think it was Hard Lead, where he just didn't know. And his Roach Warren was way too late. Second gate goes down. To expect at least a third, probably a fourth gate as well. 4 gate is the standard with the Glaive Adepts. Warping in those Adepts can do very, very well. Adept coming south, indeed, yeah. 3 gates in total being added, so it will be 4 gate. It's 3 minutes 30. Does REYNOR realize what's up? We're on REYNOR's camera right now. He's on 4 queens going 6. This is not what he needs to do right now. There we go, Roach Warren. Roach Warren and 330, back on gas. He's already got 2 back on gas, now 3 mining gas. No second gas, so he's not going to do the super quick Ravages here. Looks like he's just going to use this to trickle some Roaches out, which is still pretty decent. Definitely much more respect for him against the Glaive Adept opening. Warp Gate is already finished. Gateways are transforming. Adepts moving out. Zergling checking that third base. 12 more Zerglings building. So it's going to be 18 Zerglings. Overlord speed starts. I think REYNOR's worried because he... No, he misclicked it. He cancelled it. Oh, here we go. Okay, Adept shading forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players coming forward. Queen's moving out. Adept shading into the third. There are no drones there. One Adept out on his own, or her own, I should say. And gonna shade on past. Plenty of Lings waiting for that. 6 Roaches building. Dark Shrine. Dark Shrine's on the way. Oh, Hero. Hero, you mad dog, you. What are you doing, mate? That's an old school build. This is so old school. Wow. There's only 1 Spore, man. 1 Spore, you definitely have opportunity to get some stuff done when they only have 1 Spore. Getting rid of the creep would be nice here as well. Does get rid of another creep tumor. Prism's out on the left side. Hasn't sieged it up just yet. There is an extra Spore building in the main base. Third base taking some damage. Oh, he commits! That's a crazy move! He's going to try and fight the Zerglings, but they're kind of blocking him. A lot of his Adept attacks were hitting Roaches for a little bit, but then he did shuffle them, made sure they were attacking Zerglings. Looks like the Prism just flew into the main and died, guys. He just flew the Prism into the Queens and died. Oh no, the Dark Shrine is just sitting there, not able to do anything right now. I mean, there was a Spore anyway, so who knows, maybe that saved him more cash that he would have wasted. But that's a good defense. Losing 2 drones and a bunch of Zerglings, trading 2-to-1 efficiency for REYNOR. REYNOR with his first shutdown, and it's double Stargate goes down. Oh my god, no. Come on, Hero. You're joking, mate. Oh, I mean, I know he's very far behind, but that's just ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, Glaive Adepts into double Stargate Phoenix is a build, but you're meant to plan it ahead of time and build that around the time the Dark Shrine started. You know, 2 minutes ago, not now. You can't start it at 6 minutes and expect to get something done. The Phoenix are going to be so late in this game. Oh, this is, I mean, he's trying to do it with some meme Phoenix comeback, I would imagine, but DT gets taken out by the Prism. It's a very poorly executed Roddy build, unfortunately, at this point. Obviously, it's because he lost the Prism and all of his Adepts didn't get much damage done. But like, if you saw these timings on Roddy's stream, you'd be like, Kev, how many beers are we deep? Like, how big is that glass of red wine you're drinking from tonight on the ladder, mate? Oh, and the Overseer sees the first 2 Phoenix as well. Oh, youch. This is, yeah. He swaps to Void Rays because he's like, well, I'm just going to die. Maybe Void Rays can stop me from just dying. REYNOR's just droning up right now. Hydra Den on the way. Hydra's pretty good versus Void Rays. 3 shield batteries building. He's kind of convinced that REYNOR is going to counterattack. REYNOR, though, is chilling right now. Saturating all 3 bases. Does deny Hero's Observer as well. I can't believe REYNOR's going to get a lead in this series after that game too. Tragic for the Protoss fans out there. You know, the funny thing is, you can't be afraid of attacking. Part of Hero's success, I sometimes make it sound simpler than it is, and oh, why did he go in there? And it's yeah, if you play like Showtime, doing those attacks looks really stupid. But if you play like Hero, it makes sense in the broader picture that sometimes you miss. If you're winning so many games with these sort of wild attacks other players wouldn't risk going for, you're bound to lose some for the same reasons. Beautiful flora on this map, by the way, as the Warp Prism does rotate. It's just hard to see because, you know, if you copy-paste a more standard Protoss player into his shoes, they would just never make that call. It's massive Void Ray right now, guys. There's no Fleet Beacons, so no Flux Veins upgrades. Void Ray Cannon Battery. I mean, Void Rays aren't good versus Hydras, but the Cannon Battery is good. Need a lot more cannons, though. Maybe a few buildings walling off as well. Fleet Beacon does come down. Hero's going to try to make it to Sky Toss. Definitely don't think Sky Toss is Hero's forte. I've talked a lot about carriers. I wonder if there's certain matches versus lesser known Zergs that I don't see as much, where he kills them with carriers all the time. Or maybe he has like really good carrier win rate versus Solar. So I feel like I've seen him kill Solar with carriers a few times, but it doesn't seem to have a lot of success against Dark and REYNOR. Maybe it's just a Dark and REYNOR thing. They keep making comebacks. Oh no! A Prism and 2 Archons goes down. A Void Ray goes. This is game over. It's game over, man. Yeah, I mean, he's trying to make a weird Void Ray comeback. He's going to counterattack with some Glaive Adepts here. It's a Mass Adept Void Ray. Hero is just trying to dig into his brain and think of anything that could get him back in this game. And +1 ship weapons does get denied just a few seconds from finishing. Adepts will get in and start killing some units. Hydra's popping out. Ain't going to be able to stop that on their own. The Roach Hydra will shove in for the victory, though, I'm sure. Drones in the natural will start taking damage as well. The Adepts are on move command, unfortunately. Hero not really watching. He's so busy microing at home, trying to make Dark Templar. He dives on the Overseer, and now his DTs will try to defend him. REYNOR immediately starts making 2 new Overseers at his 3rd base, but they're not ready just yet. Unfortunately, not many drones going down here. Roaches are starting to fall to those Dark Templar. And, of course, REYNOR forced to back off until the new Overseers arrive on the front. They're just departing his 3rd base now. They'll group up in about 20 seconds, and then he'll go back in for another wave of attack. Adepts do fall there. Hero's got a pack of Void Rays that he's going to try to do a counterattack with. Good on him. He's got Flux Veins now. These Void Rays flux, and they flux hard. We flux hard, we flux fast. We get in, we get out, and we make sure they don't know our last name. Child support ain't gonna get us. Not today, boys. Anyways, Cannon's going taken down by the Roach Hydra. The Void Rays run into a massive Queens, and no, child support got him good. The Queens smashed him. The probes are going to go down as well. Yeah, Heroes losing the Prism. It's a big gamble going for the DTs after the 4-gate Glaives. It's one of the most committed 2-base builds. But to do that and lose the Prism, it really takes the oomph out of the pressure. I think the Shade into the Natural was just a bit unnecessary for him. And REYNOR gets a 2-1 advantage. All right, going into game 4. Hero in the top right. He goes for the block again. Unfortunately, I don't think it's early enough. Or is it? Is it? Oh, it's going to be tight. It doesn't get there in time. Oh, damn. If Hero sent a very first probe across and then still went 14 pylon, he could have done this. But he went for the 13 pylon, hoping to catch REYNOR going for the 16 hatch, 18 gas, 17 pool. Didn't quite work out. Oh, man. Yeah, this is a turn in the series. The DT Shrine is a massive commitment. Doesn't work out. And, of course, the 2-star is always a gamble behind it and gets scouted immediately. REYNOR just had control of that game from start to finish, and now Hero has to fight back from behind in a series. But that's kind of where he does his best work. And, you know, it's so funny because you watch any other player than a kind of dynamic, crazy hero or a dark type character. These guys who sometimes make some big missteps. Hero especially. He doesn't get thrown off. He's so used to throwing away advantages. It happens all the time. So many players get upset by this. Like, if I saw Serral playing this series the way Hero did, even with his off race, I would know that Serral is so angry. He would be fuming that he let that game 2 slip away. He'd be fuming that game 1 was as close as it was with how far ahead he was. Serral would be like, I can't believe I'm playing like this. Whereas, you know, Hero's kind of giggling to himself, and he's like, oh, kind of screwed up in that game 2, didn't I? Whoa. I don't know, better not do that again. Like there's this, you know, I always use the saying, water off a duck's back, and that really is, the emotional damage of the loss is different for each person, of not living up to your own expectations. But if there's one man that truly plays for the joy of playing his style, it is Hero. And he finds a way to be in the moment no matter what. And even though he'll look frustrated when he loses, but it's not a lasting frustration. It's like he can move through and process that so quickly. Whereas some other players will be looking like they're crazy angry for hours and hours later. You know, it's not that pro gamers don't feel the rage of your average Joe guy who writes angry threads on Reddit about how Protoss or Zerg or Terran is broken and unfair to play against. It's just they feel it and then they process that emotion in a fraction of the time. They don't spend days or weeks or years fuming about how unfair the game is. They kind of process it and they go, okay, now let's find a way to win. And that's something which Hero is one of the absolute best at. Oh, Void Ray first. Okay, we're going for some scouting denial. Hero, I always say, like, it used to always be, it means you've got to trick up your sleeve. You're trying to do a naughty strategy. Oh, nice snipe on the creep shimmer. Good move. REYNOR will get in with a scout and see the Void Ray, which is great. It used to be you're doing a cheeky strategy. You're trying to hide your sneaky, cheeky, kind of dirty all in if you go Void Ray first, because you want to get rid of the Overlords as quickly as possible. But I feel like it's become something where top Protoss players will mix this in and they'll just play a macro game. But they'll keep you a bit more in the dark, and you're kind of going, oh, what's he doing? Is it a charge lot timing? Is it Glaive Adepts? Oh, is it going to be an 8-gate? Is it a fake third base? Like, what's going on? And then it's like, no, it's none of those things. He's literally just playing a macro game with a Void Ray instead of an Oracle first, and it's a completely normal strategy. So I like that Protoss players have added this depth, because back when it was Void Ray into Glaive Adepts really fast every single time, it kind of became a little bit obvious, guys. A little bit obvious, and good to see Hero updating his strategies there. Good cancel. Third hatchery is down. Ling speed is finished this time around. So well-timed Ling speed. 4 queens, or 6 queens already out as well, actually. Wow. REYNOR will no doubt be droning that third base. 2 spores on the way. Ling tries to get in, but the Adept does block that scouting. We can see it's double forge. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Macro games. Macro games, ladies and gentlemen. Macro games. I think double forge is perfectly fine. He did triple forge against REYNOR in their previous match, and I was not a fan. From the moment I saw it, I was like, this is really cool, but also I don't think it's good. Double Forge is already a massive investment in the in the future. You're putting so much money right here, right now, into something that gives you no benefit for minutes on end. And even then, at the end of those minutes, when that whole period where that money gave you nothing tangible, it just gives you an incremental gain on your existing units. Of course, the earlier you go for it, and the more relatively even engagements there are throughout the game, the more it ends up paying off. If we had a crystal ball for knowing exactly how the game was going to go minutes ahead of time, we'd always be rushing upgrades. But because StarCraft is filled with players spreading, misinformation, trying to spread lies and be like, oh, look, I'm doing this. Oh, surprise, here's a big attack. You need the flexibility to deal with that. Upgrade structures don't give you that, which is why double upgrades are very uncommon outside of Zerg vs. Terran. It's the one matchup where players are so focused on staying on mass basic units for a very long time, and the upgrades are just also so integral when you've got such low damage units. Ling Bane, low damage, high frequency attacks for the Zerglings, same thing for the Marines. Upgrades scale very, very massively, whether it's armor or attack in that interaction. Protoss not nearly as important for you to get armor as Zerg, but for the Protoss to get armor against the little Zergling units, the Banelings can definitely be effective. Blink is on the way, third base nicely saturated. I like this build for Hero. I love that Adept positioning. Does try to hold this area. We'll lose one Adept, but the other one will get out. Oracle's flying in on the third base. They grab 1, 2, 3 drones. Nicely done. I'd like to see REYNOR be just a little bit quicker on pull the drones away. I think that's one of the best ways to shut this down, because he doesn't have an Overlord on the bottom. We can see on REYNOR's vision, there's a hole in his vision, and that is a bit of a mistake. He should absolutely rectify that. I think he pulled it away because of the Void Ray, but now it is allowing the Oracles to be a bit more annoying than they should have otherwise been. Equal workers for both sides. Robo Bay on the way, so it's going to be a single Robo Bay play. 6th and 7th Gateway, and now a 4th Nexus looking to be taken on the right side of the map. 4th Hatchery hasn't even finished for REYNOR. If we can get that 4th Nexus started already, that would be delicious. Oracle sacrifices itself for 3 more drones. Only 1 Oracle left alive. You don't want to lose that bad boy. You'll have to scout in case there's a Mutalisk swap or anything of that nature. REYNOR's already planning to go Ultralisks. An Infestation Pit and a Carapace upgrade has started. Unfortunately, Hero leaves his other Oracle sitting above a Hatchery and loses that one as well. Oracle Preservation is the reason why MaxPax is the best PvZ player in the world right now, hands down. I say that. He kind of got destroyed in this tournament, but it happens. Everyone has bad days. Overall, the last few PvZs I've watched of MaxPax, man, he has just never lost his Oracles versus Zerg, and 10, 15, 20 minutes in, they're still revelating, they're still harassing workers, they're still dropping stasis traps. They add that value for the entire game. Hero, having lost those, loses so much of his map vision, his information. Luckily, though, Stalkers with an Observer on the right, Prism on the left. He can still keep up some pressure. Hive's on the way right now. Hero, oh my god, REYNOR's on 88 workers. Oh, he loves that economy. It's going to help him catch up, because remember, Hero was mining more for a lot of this early game. Almost all of it. Oh, 5th base denial will be huge. The Stalker's getting ready to blink to that left side. Tries to focus the drone, but he actually misfired. Oh, he blinks on the Queens. Uh-oh. He'll take out the Queens, but the Lings will punish him. Roach is shooting across the gap. He can blink back. Oh my god, Colossus in the open. Hero! Oh god, Hero's in doo-doo. Hero's in the doo-doo. Hero shoving into a base with no evac plan. It's a very common thing for him to do. He does quickly recall the Colossus. It will survive, just barely. Void Ray's getting a bit of damage done. Stalkers, so many going down. 13 Stalkers for 47 Zerglings in total. I would absolutely take that trade as a Zerg any day of the week. Zerglings are free and Stalkers are expensive. That's obviously a bit of an exaggeration, but pretty much sums it up. Storm is on the way right now. Heroes 2-2 is finishing. Plasma Shields and +3 attack is normally what you want to go for. He's going to go +3 armor now. The reason why you'd want to go +3 armor over +1 shields is because you're just in the habit of making armor. Yes, technically Zealots have 100 hit points and only 50 shields. Technically Immortals have more hit points than shields, 2-1. Colossus have a little bit more. However, Plasma Shields +1 upgrades way faster and is cheaper. Therefore, I would argue it's almost always the better upgrade, but especially if we're going to add a lot of Archons into the army. Now, right now, we're not doing that. We're on 9 Stalkers. You know, losing those Stalkers sucks, but if he replaces them with much better units, I actually think Hero is still in a good spot. I don't think he really has a kill timing he can go for. If he goes for a bunch of Immortal Archons, I think that would really buff up this Storm Colossus base so well. Oh man. REYNOR is going to Bane Bust this pylon at some point when the army moves out. Or just run a billion Zerglings in. Even that pylon will die pretty quickly if the battery doesn't heal it. Zerglings are only free if you have an uncle that works at Blizzard. Well, right now that uncle's name is 88 drones. Now 82 drones. Cleared a few of them up building buildings. REYNOR's still got a gold base though. Big income. Looking to deny the 5th base of Hero right now. Hero warping in a few Zealots. But this base, not long for this world, I don't think. REYNOR pulls back. He goes back in. Of course! He baits Hero into F2ing like every game ever. Hero has 2 cannons, but nothing to support. Battery overcharge goes down. That's going to fall almost instantly. The Banelings are going to go after that worker line. Nicely done for REYNOR. Blows up 16 workers, wreaking havoc in the main base. Stalkers in the main are also going to hold the choke point. Nice defense at the front. Looks like Storms held back the advance right there. Still behind in the units lost is Hero, but he does defend without losing any more probes at least. Now it's really important for him to try and reinforce this wall a little bit, I would say. Colossus gets abducted, nice. 2 Colossus died there. It says only 6 Banelings died, but you got to realize it doesn't show the Banelings that blew themselves up. They're obviously on a Zerg spawning pool or an island inside a giant spawning pool covered with very, very attractive other Banelings that will become their Baneling wives. Stalker, High Templar, Colossus Archon moving down the bottom right side. We've got the Roachling Bane Ultra there. Oh man. Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Oh, bad army move for Hero here. His army just gets so out of position. A bunch of Archons get picked off and of course run by 2.0. He left a probe! Unfortunately, it's an awkward wall off, so it doesn't fully stop it. Lings are getting into the base. The Ultras and the Blinding Clouds all over the army. The Ultras are cleaning up. Stalker Colossus is not good against Ultras. You really need Immortals to deal with these units. He doesn't have it. Hero's 3rd base getting ransacked right now. He does lose 11 probes. I think he's going to lose a few more. It's so close. Looks like 12 probes go down to that run by at the end. Storms will clean up the Roach Ravager. The cannons will clean these Ultras. Oh, 2 Ultras barely get out to get transfused another day. There is right now only 1 Robo. I'm very surprised. I thought he'd go up to triple Robo after realizing there was no kill timing, but I think it's dawning on me that Hero always thought there was a kill timing because that's his natural state of being. I don't think he ever thinks there isn't a kill timing. I think he's always like, get him. But a 2nd and a 3rd Robo would be a good idea here for Hero for sure. No plus shields just yet. And as he starts making a lot more Archons, that's really going to hurt him because you've invested all this money in these +3 armor, which is great in the Zealot versus Zergling situation. It's just not that important when Archons are involved. Voidray unfortunately did not focus the Viper. Could have got a Viper before he died there. Cannon battery, Archon battery, overcharge coming on down, trying to defend. More Archons morphing, trying to hold. The battery overcharge can only heal so much. Storm tickling that Ultralisk there. Oh, me oh my. Hero trying to make a heroic hold, but he just does not have the numbers. So few Immortals as well, even with 3-3. He does lose control of the gold base, loses 21 workers, and he goes from being in a fantastic position economically, pretty much all of this game, to being dead in the water. Half the supply, 1/3 of the army supply, and that is a rough situation. A big turnaround. I feel like he had a great start, did Hero. Looked like he came out in a pretty good position, but REYNOR all over it, man. The Ultras are doing so well for him. A lot of people said Ultras were really trash. I feel like this is just every patch now. You know, there's a bunch of these creative guys on the ladder who I've watched, and I'm like, man, they're using Ultras a lot, and they're really good. The pros are like, they're kind of bad. I saw Solar rush straight to Ultras against Protoss the other day. It's bizarre to see. Now, don't get me wrong. We saw this a bit back in the previous map pool with like Crestfin and stuff, where Protoss players, if they weren't going for Robotech, a lot of players were playing just Oracle, Stalker, Zealot. Ultras were really good if you got them out against that style. But, yeah, 34 probes against 79 workers. Thank you, Hero. Thank you. GG. Well, REYNOR's up 3-1, man. GG. All right, guys, he's angry. Hero in the top right side of the map sends one of his very first probes across the map. Hero has said, you are not allowed to take your expansion. And ideally, he's hoping that REYNOR goes 15 hatch, 15 pool. However, REYNOR's building an Overlord on 13, which means he's not. So already, Hero going across to block the hatchery about 20 seconds earlier than he's needed to, 15 seconds earlier. It's not the end of the world, of course, but definitely was hoping to stymie the 14 or 15 hatch. I think 14 hatchery gets down at like 31, 32 seconds. So 14 hatchery can get down no matter what, but he will be able to block the 17 hatchery here. REYNOR immediately builds an extra drone, realizing he's being blocked. It was going to be a 16 hatchery, but notice how it's the same thing I was talking about in my Dark series, for any of you who watched it, where he gets there and the hatchery's delayed by like 1 second, but he's already got a drone mining, whereas Dark only builds that drone now, starts building it. So I think REYNOR's way of just squeeze the drone in once you realize you're blocked is a great way of getting a little bit more mining out. In this case, he uses it to take the gas. So his gas can be a bit earlier without pulling a worker off minerals. Oh, chat was saying, oh, there's 54 probes left. Oh, only 54 probes. Okay, so it was 54 probes that died. There was 34 remaining. So I think you guys were both right. People disagreeing in Twitch chat. Maybe everyone was right. Maybe we were all winners. We can give each other hugs, guys. Oh my god. No one ever has to be wrong again. This is Solaris. Hero is going to be going 3 games in a row, is what he needs. A near impossibility. Especially considering his ability to kind of give up advantages in this series has already reared its ugly head. And, you know, it's funny because I always talk about how Hero versus Dark, every single game is he gets way ahead, and then half of the games he throws from there. And the other half he wins. And maybe it's 55% he wins. So he usually wins a close series versus Dark. Historically, he usually loses versus REYNOR, because REYNOR just stops his chaos from working and is good enough at blocking him, but it feels like right now, it's back to what he does against Dark, where it's like, well, he gets ahead. It's just REYNOR's even better at making comebacks than Dark is. Like, REYNOR is very tight right now. Remember, he's been grinding. He is working hard for that $500,000 tournament in Katowice, February 8th to February 11th. It is not the World Championship this year. It was for the previous 3 or 4 years. He won there in 2021. He was in the finals of BlizzCon in 2020, which was the World Championship back then. He was also in the finals of 2022, was REYNOR. REYNOR is made of pretty stern stuff. Oh, Hero blocks him, though. Not anticipating that block. That was a bit sloppy. Oh, the Adept trying to hit the drones from the high ground, but spots the Queen coming. He's going to try and shade away. The Zergling's backing off. REYNOR being kept off a third base has decided, okay, I'll build an extra Overlord, drones, and a 4th Queen so I can at least spend my minerals. But he's got to be frustrated. He's going to go for another inject. The thing is, if you send your Queens, I know when Hero does this to Dark, Dark immediately sends his Queens, and he misses this whole inject. And this whole inject. And it just makes his build so awkward, even though he kind of chases the Adept away pretty quickly. But Hero's like, yeah, I've already delayed it enough. I don't want to lose this. I'll just go home now. I know you've got link speed. That's cool. Oracles are coming out. Second Gateway's on the way. REYNOR has shown a better ability than Dark to navigate the earliest stages in terms of like Oracle defense, but I still think what I've seen from Hero in the last week of his PvZ, 2 weeks, he will kill 3 drones with his first Oracle almost every game, and you want to try and stop that. You really want to stop that. Watch out, REYNOR. Hero comes in the backside. He's fighting hard from behind right now in this series, and 3 drones every single time. It's like clockwork. He just constantly catches these players out of position. Now, keep in mind, that's partially because REYNOR sent 2 Overlords to the other side of the map. So he's working with less Overlords than normal. He has only 1 here, 1 out, and a few out front his base that he's kind of spreading. But he's left this hole to the top left empty, and this Overlord here. So a little bit sloppy from REYNOR, and he loses another 3 drones. Oh, God. Okay, that's not good. That's very good for Hero. That's very bad for REYNOR. Because, yeah, his Overlord's not far enough forward. It's so far back. So I think he was paranoid about another Void Ray coming out. But that setup from the Void Ray in the last game for Hero may be paying dividends here in Game 5, as it's now causing REYNOR to not have very good Overlord vision, and as a result, the Oracles have been highly effective. Roboforge Twilight on the way. It's going to be a charge, not a blink play. If REYNOR goes for a massive Roach Queen push, that could potentially kill this. But so far, we've only seen an Evo Chamber, a sign that he wants to play a Zergling upgrade style. That does not lead into a Queen Walk. Adepts going into the main base, Queen Zergling, not able to get this around. Oracle's coming in on the natural. Oh, that Spore's not well placed. Oh, 2 drones going down. Goes a little deep, does Hero. All things considered, his Oracles are still pretty healthy. This guy could come in the 3-lings just enough to kill a stasis trap. Good preparation. I mean, he could kill the gas workers, though. Good reaction by REYNOR with no queen here. Oh, no. Oh, nice Spore trick, though. He still gets a drone. The lings are attacking his spawning pool right now. I don't want to get in the bath, Mum! This is like watching a little kid who doesn't want to get in the bath and he starts kicking the bath. Okay, finally, the mums do shoo him away. 3rd and 4th gateway are going to start transforming. Oh, it's a really fast Robo, but he's actually not playing charge. Normally you see a Robo that fast if they want to play charge. I think he might play 2nd Robo Bay, right? It's a pretty early Prism. But he's not probing right now. Oh, wait, what? Oh, Hero's doing a 54 pro blink timing. Oh, he's going up to 7 gates right now. He's going to do an Adept drop? It's an 8 gate. Not fully set. Oh, he was not building probes. REYNOR knows. REYNOR's scouting is really good, guys. He ran that in, and what he saw was no lights on the side of the Nexus. The lights tell you if the Nexus is producing or not. You see, this is producing, though it is supply blocked. But REYNOR saw there was no probes queued up before. There was no lights when he first looked, so REYNOR should know to not build workers past 66. Maximum 66, and just make army. I remember when I thought ZVP was really stressful around 2020, 2021, I think it was, and I was like, man, you can never know what they're doing. Like, these base attacks are so hard. The Oracles come in, they get 3 more drones, 4. And I asked Cyril, and Cyril just was like, shrugged his shoulders, and he was like, what are you talking about? ZVP is easy. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, no, ZVZ's hard. Hard to tell what they're doing in ZVZ. He's like, in ZVP, you just like scout for one thing, and basically you just build army off 66 drones, and then if you see them take gases on their 3rd, then you can make drones for your 4th, but otherwise you don't. REYNOR did not see drones for that 4th. He stopped on 66, only building 2 more. Despite that, he's caught out by this timing. And remember, he took a lot of drone losses earlier to the Oracles as well. He's trying to make Banelings right now. Not going to be the most useful against these Stalkers. Trying to get some Roaches up. He needs Ravages. He's evacuating his 3rd and moving to his 4th base. My god, this is a vicious timing. And look at the units. Hero is playing the perfect game. He hasn't lost a single unit. 25 Zerg dead. The first Protoss units only now entering. Nothing like attacking your opponent when you have a 25-to-1 units to lost ratio. Absolutely brutal attack off a beautiful opening. I think this is Hero realizing I've had a fantastic flawless start and I'm going to kill you. Realizing that I can kill you with just a straight up blink attack. I don't need to overcomplicate it. Get in there and shove it in. GG, well played. All right, well, that was a pretty damn nice opening. Hero in the left side of the map goes for the 14 pylon. So he's not going to scout this game most likely unless he's worried about a 12 pull. REYNOR is going for a 15-15 and he will be able to pull this one off. REYNOR just needs better Overlord positioning. You might be wondering, oh, what did he do wrong? Well, I mean, he droned a little bit hard. He was going to 68 drones and a little bit more tech and upgrades than he needed to. But most importantly, so I'm not sure if he paid attention to his scouting. I'm not sure if he got that read I was talking about. The main thing is the Overlord positioning. So 1 Overlord across the map is standard. 2nd Overlord out front your natural. 3rd one out front your 3rd base. And then you want to fill in the gaps. 1 on the edge, 1 on the edge. And then you're like almost always going to see the Oracles before they hit a base. Gives you time to... The Spores here, the Oracles coming in from there. You grab this side of the mineral line, click them on this mineral patch, move your Queens forward. They can't even get a single drone unless they want to take a lot of damage on the Oracle. So that's something you can go for. Now, I don't know what this drone's doing, guys. Oh, he's worried about a cannon rush. Oh, Hero's been cannon rushing recently. This is a fake, though. We know it's a fake. But REYNOR doesn't know it's a fake. Ah, this map does have some dirty positioning that you can do, I guess, where you can wall off with like a pylon there and then a few buildings there. You can also do some nasty stuff in the mineral line. REYNOR only pulls 2 drones this time. That might, you know what, Hero might cannon rush him. If he wins this game, that would be a Game 7 decider. Hero might actually cannon rush Game 7 if he wins this game. I don't know what the map will be. We haven't played Raduset. That'll be vetoed by one of them probably. I don't think we've played Equilibrium, Raduset, or... Oof. There should be a few different maps. Should be a couple more, since there should have been 2 vetoes plus the last map. So there should be one more map that I'm forgetting about. Site Delta. I'm not sure if they played Site Delta. I think they did. Anyways, we can muse about that later. For now, let's talk about the video game. Adept will be chronoed forwards. Is that Cybercore started before Nexus, I wonder? Yeah, that's Cybercore before Nexus. This is a very quick Adept, so he should be chronoing a second Adept. And where is that chrono? He's got the chrono saved up, but he's not using it. Core before Nexus, but no chrono on the Adept. How bizarre. Why would you do that? I gotta ask Custom about this, man. I gotta pick a big brain Protoss's brain about this one. Adept's running north. Trying to hunt down that Zergling. It just seems so odd to go for the early Cybercore like this, but maybe it's to stop Zergling sneaking in his base because the Adept's out earlier. I don't know. Third base will go down after Ling Speed. So it's been the Ling Speed 4-queen version of the build. Did delay his 4th queen slightly, did REYNOR. But he's got really good creep spread. Third base goes down just after 3 minutes. I don't really particularly feel this build is the most economic, but it's probably the most balanced of the opening variations off the 15-15, where he's already building extra Zerglings. The double Adept is here. I would have loved to see these Adepts come down a bit earlier. Oh, nice focus fire. Gets the Zergling already. He's going to shade out with his next shade. The queens are on top of him, so he's just going to back away by the looks of it. Okay, fair enough. Takes a little bit of damage there and does pull out. At least he knows there's 7 Zerglings that have been built. He doesn't know about the Zergling speed. Hero. Hero's going to move out to take that third base. One Adept will be in the wall off, and another one hanging out at the third. Pylon's already down. This Pylon doesn't create any choke points, but he could use that mineral line. Would be an okay spot. Spore Crawler's on the way. I believe that's in the natural for REYNOR. REYNOR didn't have the Overlord in position again. Remember, we talked about that Overlord positioning really hurting him in the last one. Yet again, he does let the Oracle in without seeing it. But this time, even though he saw it so late, he actually ends up way ahead. Getting the Oracle deep in the red there, it only killing 1 worker. And Hero forgot to turn the laser off. So he's going to waste every bit of energy on that Oracle. That's a blunder there for Hero. Unforced error. Ooh, if he could kill these Adepts, it'd be great. I don't think he has the numbers to kill all of them, though. Looks like he'll just get 1. Oh, if he could get the second, that'd be great. Gets 2. Well worth it. 1 Adept does go back to the third. Forge and Twilight are on the way. Third and fourth gas will saturate. Evo Chamber goes down for REYNOR. He's going to play upgraded Zerglings. I'm surprised he hasn't done any Queen Walks. I really feel Queen Walks and also just like maxed Queen Roach Bushes are really underrated strategies. But I guess they're more Solar's wheelhouse. And even Solar hasn't been doing them that much recently. Oracle in the back. Looks like it did take some damage. He's only killed a drone and a few Zerglings and he's lost 2 Adepts. This is a really good start for REYNOR. He's up 10 workers right now. Charge and +1 on the way for Hero. Robo being built. Few Stalkers being built as well. He's got to fake that he's playing Blink, of course. If your opponent knows you're playing Zealots, they can counter it by either doing a giant push or they can go for like Roach Swarmost or something like that. And they also just build their Roaches to be ready defensively on time. Fourth base starts. 5 minutes 45 for REYNOR. +1 melee is on the way. 8 more drones are building. Oracle's flying in. Okay, only 1 queen and a spore. Drones quickly pulled back though. Yeah, REYNOR's doing so good on his anti-air. Drone sets off the stasis trap. Queen goes back to injecting. Another stasis trap goes down. Oh, he's been defending so smooth. Hero's being annoying, but he's not really finding any value. And it looks like he's going 8 gate on 3 base. Oh, he's not building workers anymore. No gases on the third. There we go. Gases on the third do start up. So it's going to be an 8 gate charge lot Archon timing. If REYNOR starts building Roaches, he'll be fine. But he's building mass Zergling right now, which is very bad against Zealot Archon. So REYNOR is being tricked. REYNOR thinks right now that this is Blink when it's not. Prism's almost out. He's going to be moving out, morphing Archons and Zealots and going. REYNOR is building drones right now. A lot of drones. He sees 1 or 2 Stalkers, but not much else. If Reynor doesn't build roaches, the Archon Zealot will cause him a lot of problems. He's still massing drones. We're on his vision. He's scouting for a fourth. He doesn't see it. He makes a second Evo in a Baneling nest. Oh, he's building 10 more drones. Oh my god, he's going to 80 workers. He has no idea. He has no idea. He thinks, oh, I'm so safe because these Zerglings will easily block any Stalker count. Oh, he's about to find out, guys. There is indeed a Prism flying through the south side. He's seen that. He's building 7 roaches now. I think Reynor can still defend. And he kind of needs to because this is a very committed attack. Only 68 workers for Hero. He's got no splash damage, no transition on the way behind it, nothing but immortal production. He's thinking about taking a 4th base, but he hasn't done it yet. Mass Zealot Archon going to come in the front. That is, it's not really mass. It's 8 Zealots and 2 Archons. It's a small tactical attack. The Archons and the Zealots go after these Zerglings. Stands his ground for now, picks up those Archons, immediately redrops them. A good pullback on the Zerglings. I love that. They're all damaged, not many die. Units lost tab dead even. Reynor holds. He's on 80 workers. He starts a hive and builds 10 more drones. It's looking like Reynor may have this series in the bag. You might think, what? That's not that good, is it? Guys, he just started his 4th. He's got no splash damage. He's just building Immortals, Archons, and Zealots. It's a really basic army for Hero against a Reynor who's already got his hive halfway done. If he gets a few Vipers out, Blinding Clouds and Abducts are going to be brutal. I mean, Hero, he's known for making massive throws. In this one, he was never ahead. He's been behind pretty much all game. But can he make the epic comebacks? Can that traditional play of, well, high risk, high reward, that's why he makes so many throws, but he can also make comebacks. He's going to have to do something special here. He's building Cannon Battery in his natural. Cannon Battery at the front. He's just making Immortals and Archons. I feel like Reynor has all the time in the world this game. He could be going Spire and go for Broodlords. That would be a fantastic win condition, but remember, it's Reynor. This is more the kind of game I was expecting in terms of Reynor's just going to stay Hive Tech. He starts the Spire only when the Hive finishes, which means maximum, at earliest, sorry, you can start that Great Spire when that finishes 71 seconds from now. Big delay. Adrenal Glands is on the way. There's no Vipers or anything. Roach Speed is here. He's making Carapace, which makes me think he wants to go Ultras, but I kind of feel range upgrade might have been a bit more useful for these Roaches and Ravagers. Heroes on 77 workers, making High Templar to bank energy for Psystorm. He's threatening, but I don't think he has any plan of committing to an attack. It seems like that would be a crazy choice. Reynor is going to go for a massive Ling backstab right now. He doesn't have many Banelings at home, but luckily for him, Hero does not feel confident pushing. It would have been crazy for Hero to push in with such a hodgepodge army of just Zealot, Archon, Immortal. The Zerglings clear some static, force him back. Well done. Adrenal Glands is almost finished. Still no Vipers on the way. Interestingly, Reynor has not really done much with the early momentum. If there was one thing that I would criticize Reynor for, it's that when he's ahead, he doesn't rush Hive Tech. I've talked about this a lot over the last year. Even when he's ahead, he still plays the same style and doesn't really press his advantage in the matchup. Whereas if he, say, hit a really crisp Lurker timing, this army isn't beating 15 Lurkers. It's not going to beat 6 Broodlords. Or even 8 Broodlords. There's not even Blink upgrade. He's got no answer to Broods. Greatest Spire's only just started. If he started the Spire at the same time as the Hive, we could see Broodlords morphing right now. Anyways, that's theory crafting. Let's talk about the actual game in front of us. Lingbane Ravager. Oh, Hero not pulling his probes. He's always so slow to pull his probes, but I guess it's partially because there's Lingbane in the top as well. Oh no! Hero's mineral line is going to get taken out up there. In the bottom, it already got half cleared. 26 workers go down. Units lost tab very even on both sides, which is usually amazing for a Zerg, who is, of course, now miles ahead on the economy. But that seems to have hit the trigger point. Hero is now going to go across the map with a counterattack and say, okay, sure. No worries, bud. Let's go. Let's do it. He's got a bunch of High Templar, 4 or 5 Immortals, a bunch of Archons and Zealots. Reynor is going for the counterattack. Ling's running in. He's going to get into the natural. Oh, the wall is open, but the warping is good. Reynor loses his 5th base. He's intercepting a few Archons and Zealots over here, which seems pretty good for him. But he's got to find the correct angle on this engagement. Watch out for the Storm Drop! The Storm Drop! It's pretty decent, but it doesn't actually hit that many Banelings, but mostly Banelings only hit the Archons at the front. Reynor's Roach Ravager Ling Bane army seems to be kind of hitting its expiry point, where I don't know how he can defend unless he gets a bunch more Ravagers out or something like that. He just doesn't have that many Ravagers right now. His army not that good against Storm Immortal Archon. Banelings don't really deal with these units whenever they're not clumped up. The Ling Bane Ravager Queen trying to hold on, but his 4th base is in huge trouble. Lings do come in from behind as well. REYNOR with a bit of an F2. Hero is all in. Hero is only on 54 probes. He needs this base kill. He cannot go home without killing that base. If he kills that base, he's still in it. Great storm all over the Banelings and Ravagers. The army very spread out for Hero right now. He's got to be careful. His Immortals are starting to bleed out. The Roach Ravager against Immortal Archon seems to be the tail end of this fight. The Ravager Biles are big. Those are the big playmaker here for REYNOR. REYNOR way up in supply, but it's lower quality supply. Ravagers massively inflate your supply, and look at how quickly it drops when the Ravagers start to go down. Ravager corpses flying to the top of the ocean. Hero with an awful start in Game 6 on Oceanborn is fighting back with a desperate counterattack. His economy got absolutely diddled, but he doesn't care. He's coming after this with a vengeance. He does not want to be going down 4-2 today. He wants to tie up this series and force the 3-3, force the ace match. Viper's coming out. Abduct on the warp prism does cancel a warp in temporarily, but that's a full refund. Hero can just warp those in now as it resieges. And that Immortal Archon could not be stopped. Hero with the vicious counterattack. Ooh. Yeah, unless you take really stunningly perfect fights with Ravagerling Bane, which REYNOR normally does, you can die here. The Storm combined with the Immortal Archon gets very hard to deal with. I do think he could have encircled this army better. He should have had some units come from this side, and this side. Notice how his entire army moves up and to the left. I mean, I like that he's doing counterattacks and warping Zealots in at home and like killing probes. Like, this is awesome. This is great. But then his whole army balls up, and that's really bad. He should have finished killing those units on the left for free. They're just sticking out. And his Banelings should be coming from multiple angles. And he also just needs a bit more Roach Ravager. He's only got 4 Ravagers and a few Roaches here. The problem is you need some range damage to kind of kill the units and Zerglings as well. Because if you just go in with Banelings, the Banelings kind of force them to spread, kill clumped up units. They tank a lot of damage as well. And that allows your Ravagerling to kind of just rain down damage for free while the Banelings are rolling in. But what damage does he have being dealt during this? Great Storm, by the way. That second Storm doesn't actually hit that many units, but it doesn't matter because what are the Banelings hitting? 2 Adepts a Zealot, and they kill an Archon and they damage a Stalker. So it's not really what he was looking for there, yeah. REYNOR just kind of got a bit discombobulated. I also think these 28 Zerglings should have all been Roaches. What do you guys think? I think he should have, if those 28 Zerglings was 14 Roaches, I think REYNOR wins this game. Because you give REYNOR 16 Ravagers, 10 Roaches, something like that, he'll micro back and kite this whole army to death. His micro is that good. He will barely get hit by any Archons or Zealots. The Immortals will land the occasional hit, and that's it. There's just... the Banelings are obviously helpful against the Zealots, but it's more important to have your core of Roach Ravager up. So I think that's what went wrong here. And don't get me wrong, I hate Ravagerling Bane, because it's so easy, like we're playing as it, it's so easy to get your unit comp a bit out of position or a bit too clumped up or not enough Roaches and Ravagers or not enough Zerglings. So I don't like using it because it is so micro-intensive. But I think this is the rare moment where how fast that counterattack came across discombobulated REYNOR, and he kind of messed up a little bit. And there's just nothing to hit with these Banelings, really. But you can imagine, if his army's spreading backwards against that, and you've got a few more Roaches and Lings, you're just surrounding and killing these units so fast. You can take him down, but damn. And REYNOR's even got a bit of money in the bank as well. Keep that in mind. So Roaches would be a better way to spend the money generally as well. Roaches and Ravagers. And he does make a bunch of Ravagers, but they're coming in and fighting after everything else is dead. So multiple engagements. It's his Banelings all die, and then the Ravagers come in. GG's. All right. What's up, guys? We've got Hero now. Game 7. My lord. What the hell? A great comeback in the last game. I think REYNOR's engagements just weren't quite as clean as they needed to be. The Banelings were kind of crashing in away. There wasn't enough Ravagers and Lings jumping on top and capitalizing on those moments when the Banelings were tanking for him. And also getting in there and doing damage. Drones moving up to the natural. It's going to be a 15 hatchery, 15 pool. Hatchery on 37 seconds. He'll grab a drone, do an extractor trick right now. Squeeze one more worker out to pop himself back up oversupply. The Overlord's going to come out. And then it's going to be a spawning pool in about 1 minute and 2 seconds. REYNOR is so good at this build order now in the opening stage. He's been very, very tight. Hero once again prioritizing gas mining very heavily here. Pulling off minerals in order to do that. And wait a second. Oh, he's microing his probes. Oh, Hero is optimizing his mining, guys. There is a thing you can do where you shift click the probes to move in front of the minerals. Almost no one does this on the far patches, because normally if you watch a probe, look at how it slows as it gets close to the mineral patch. It's barely perceptible. They kind of slow down to arrive at a halt. If you tell them to move straight up to the minerals, then start mining, they actually will travel marginally faster and get like an extra mineral each time you do that. So Hero is like, hey, if I'm not harassing, I need to do something with all my APM and micro. So he probably just got like 8 minerals extra or something by basically speeding up those deliveries. Minor details. It's funny because then he just goes to long distance mining the natural, even though that's nowhere near as efficient as just putting a third worker on one of these patches. But oh well, all the pros have been doing it. I talked to MaxPax about this and he was surprised. He was like, oh really? That isn't more efficient? I thought it was. Adept and Warp Gate starts up. Gas first allows you to go Warp Gate and a Stargate. Of course, this keeps REYNOR guessing. Is this Twilight? Or is it going to be not Twilight? Is it going to be a Stargate opening? I don't know. Normally, you just look at the Warp Gate and you go, if the Warp Gate's upgrading, it's not Stargate. If it is upgrading, then it's Twilight. But in this case, well, he didn't scout. He's gone gas first. I don't know, says REYNOR. So I think REYNOR's first read of what it is basically going, you know, is there an Oracle, or if he sneaks a Zergling inside? But he hasn't built any Zerglings. He's going for the quick third hatchery and the Ling speed with a third queen. Early creep as well. This is a pretty good build order. I do like this version of the 15-15. REYNOR's been doing it very nicely lately, and the Ling speed keeps him quite safe. Oh, Void Ray first. Interesting. REYNOR struggled against the Glaive Adepts earlier in the series. If he's worried about that, and he goes for a 330 Roach Warren, that would be something you don't want against this. How does REYNOR decide? How does he know? Because he has to make that decision before the Stargate unit reveals itself. Unless he's happy to do a Queen Ling response with Roaches coming in later. That's always very dangerous against Glaive Adepts. Cost him in one of his recent matches against the top Protoss player. He still doesn't know. He still has not opted for the Roach Warrant, and there we go. He gets the confirmation. So REYNOR happy to play a bit greedier here, and he does get rewarded because he doesn't end up going for an early Roach Warrant that he doesn't need. Now he knows that it's Stargate. He's very happy to be on 5 queens, 6-1 building, Spore Crawler in the third base. Now, arguably, you could delay this Spore a bit longer because it's just a Void Ray. There's no Oracle. Oracle is the unit you've got to worry about. Void Ray is kind of chill. It's a bit more of a slow harassment boy. More for cleaning up Overlords than anything else. Chat points out, Hero didn't do the funny wall this time around. I think it's because on this map he can't wall off with 2 buildings, even if he does the funny wall. Maybe? Actually, if he puts the pylon there, yeah, it'd be a 2-space gap, not a single space gap. I think on this map he can't do the wall off like that. So he's gone for the second gate. Now extra gates behind this. Twilight and Forge is crazy fast. What the hell is this? Oh, it's a charge all in. Is he going to pull off gas? Took this third gas, which I think he took at the front in case a Ling or something runs up to scout it. This is a very fast charge in +1, guys. The Hero is going to hit a hard charge timing. Gets himself a queen, which is not bad damage. 6 gateways on the way. So 8 gate charge lot will be the next step. Adept is out here. Oh, sorry. Zergling is out here scouting. Doesn't see those probes, though. That's a transfer off gas, is it? He's pulled off the gas on the natural, but he hasn't pulled any of the other guys off. This looks like a normal build. And he is actually still macroing his Hero, but intermittent probing. Notice he's not probing non-stop. And the Adept's cleaned up that Zergling. Oh my god, REYNOR's in the dark. This isn't an all-in, but it's a very committed attack, and he wants to keep it secret. This Zergling needs to see what's up, man. Doesn't really see anything. The lack of Stalkers, it should ring alarm bells. He builds 5 Roaches. Honestly, he should make nothing but Roaches from here, and he'll be so safe. He's going to send his Lings to go counterattack. He builds 2 more drones. This is a problem for REYNOR. If he builds nothing but Roaches, he's fine. Oh, he catches the Adepts. That's a good catch. We're on REYNOR's camera. Remember, there are charge lots moving out right now, or at least in the very near future. I think they're on the north of this map, is if I had to guess. There they go. Okay, he finds out about it, but he just built 14 more Zerglings using his lava on a unit that is not going to be useful against +1 Zealots. +1 Zealots will two-shot these Zerglings. Hero with a bit of an F2 here, trickling units into this Zergling surround. Not the most optimal control, but the attack is surprising, and it's hitting with some real oomph to it. The Zealots jumping on top. It's a lot of Roach Queen, though. It's a lot of Roach Queen. It's enough Roach Queen to defend. The Zerglings do end up getting cleaned up for the most part by the Zealot rally. Not many actual Zealots die, so it's still a good pressure. But Hero does have to transition. He goes back to probing now. He's only on 2 gases. He takes a 3rd gas here. We'll rally down to that one. And I would imagine a 4th base is next on the list, but just making more units for now. 22 Zealots on the map. Reynor's got 15 Roaches. He's got to be wary, does Reynor. You're playing a Mad Dog, and he is hiding those units just off creep. Reynor has no idea. His 4th base down here, it's Reynor. He doesn't feel comfortable unless he's got that 4th droned up, but he's going to feel very happy that he did not choose to do that this time. Don't think this is a good fight for the Zealots. Queen Transfuse is very nice. Oh, the Queens are so good at tanking. If those Zealots on the right dive into the natural, that could be good. Oh, all the Queens get taken out by the Oracles. All the Queens are going down to the Oracles. So even though the Roaches win the fight versus the Zealots, the Oracles actually kill all the anti-air. The Queen in the natural goes down. There's 1 Queen left. So the Oracles actually, I mean, killing all the Queens is pretty good. The Zealots traded appallingly badly versus the Roach Queen. I think if Reynor just rebuilds his Queens, takes a 4th, he'll be okay. That's good micro. You always want to put your Queen back between the chokes so only 1 Zealot can attack her at a time. He does keep that Queen alive, and he's going to probably go around and queue up some injects on all 3 hatcheries with her while he waits for the next round to pop out. Then there's 4 Oracles out with the 5th one building. 4th base only just started. If Hero had another expansion behind this, I'd feel better about these trades, but as it is, it feels like that last trade all ended up being about dead even. It's all on the Oracles to find more damage. Wait, there's no Queens here. If he just dives a mineral line, he could kill 20 drones. If he's willing to sacrifice the Oracles for 20 drones, now is the time to do it. Every second that goes by, those Queens are popping back out. There's now 3 Queens on the map, soon to be more. Void Ray in the south going after this hatchery. Queen does pop out. Void Ray could beat her in a 1v1, but it is, of course, distracted. Roaches counterattacking the north. Reynor pulled some amazing comebacks at the start of this series, and oh no! Hero Zealot, just like Hero himself, so eager to fight that he is not on hold position. He's on YOLO position. Oh! The Queens came down to get the Void Ray. It was a bait. Hero springs the trap, but at the same time, the Lings are in his base. He loses 6 probes. Stalkers will defend there. Roaches running in. Reynor's going to focus his Cybercore down. He does deny the 4th base as well. Reynor's got to be careful, though, about losing too many units on the Protoss side of the map. He gets the Cybercore, but Stalkers are way more mobile than these Roaches with Blink, and there's Oracle Void Ray as well. There's 6 Oracles in this map. That's a lot of Roaches to lose right now. That is a lot of Roaches. Units lost tab actually goes quite south there for Reynor. And he lost the hatchery to the Oracle. The Oracle Void Ray killed his 4th. Wow. Now, Reynor, I think, is still in a decent spot because he's up in supply, but he's uncomfortable right now. They're both on really weird low economies. 3 base versus 3 base. 67 workers for Reynor, 59 for Hero. But anything could happen right now. +1 arm is coming in behind the +2 attack. +2 melee is finished for Reynor, but he's on mostly a Roach Ravager force right now. His Lings will get cleaned up. The Queen's trying to take on these Oracles. 1 Oracle falls, a 2nd Oracle falls, a 3rd one about to go down. I think it looks like the Queens might finally stall out the advance of the Oracles for now. The Roach Ravager does defend. Another Oracle goes down. Great defense by Reynor. Hero tries to jam it in with reckless abandon. And Reynor says, mate, that's going to get you in trouble against a top dog like me. I think he puts himself massively in the driver's seat with that hold. That being said, Hero's 4th is almost finished. He's not too far behind in workers, and he does have +3 attack on the way. He's got a 2nd forge as well, so if he can find some gas, he could go for that. He's making sentries. He's on 4 gas, and he's making sentries. Hero is swapping to a Stalker sentry style. Bizarre. I don't even know what to... I mean, it's so strange. And now he goes 8 gas because he realizes he's got no gas after that. He can't afford his upgrades. Oh, man, this is crazy. This is crazy. Please, if there's any mods in the chat, please click the snooze button on the ad break for me, by the way. I have no idea how long these games go for. And anyone watching live may get hit by an ad break. That is my bad on the organizational front. Should have played one. This series has been going so long. that ad break hopefully doesn't play in the middle of the games. We got Banelings about to roll into that third base. Stalkers are there, though. So Hero should be able to block that one. REYNOR on 73 workers. Hero now up to 73 as well. Oh, Baneling's trying to get in the mineral line. Not able to get in. Down in the south. Stalker Zealot. Nice defense. Hero trades very well there. He's actually ahead now. About 1,500 resources in the units lost. He's got a Dark Shrine, a Robo, the first Robo he's built this game, and 3-2 upgrades. So he's got really nice upgrades. Hive's about to finish for REYNOR. I do think REYNOR might have to just slow this game down. I feel like if it was Serral, you got Infestors, he'd just be like, build Spire, build Greatest Spire, turtle up, play late game. And I think that's a pretty smooth way to take down Hero. I know REYNOR doesn't like late game, but this is the man who regularly beats Showtime in late game, and I know they're two different birds of a feather, but I think if you can beat Showtime in late game, you can beat Hero's carrier late game. We already saw an amazing comeback after Golden Aura, but he might not feel confident in that. He's going to go Ultras again. Ultras, the new play. Now, Ultras suck versus Immortals, especially if those Immortals actually have +3 attack. That being said, we've seen a few fights in this series where it's like 3 or 4 Immortals and there's like 8 Ultras, and the Immortals can die pretty fast, especially not useful if they're shooting Zerglings. Master Roach Ravager down here. Stalkers are going to find him. This army is pretty low tier. 10 Ravagers, 13 Roaches. It's not a great army for Zerg. He's got some Banelings. Oh, Hero is known for charging Zealots into Banelings. Bit of a nasty one there. Stalker's looking for a Ravager pick-off. Oh, dude, Infestor's on the high ground. If he engages there and gets Hero from the high ground with Fungal, that'd be massive, but I think REYNOR was worried that the Stalkers would go around the other side and catch his Infestors. So he's pulling back for now. A cautious REYNOR. Probably the wise idea. I mean, you know Hero's going to impale himself on you at some point. Hero is physically incapable of keeping it in his pants. It's crazy, because I only recently remember that Hero is one of the oldest players. I think the oldest in the top 10, second oldest in the top 20 in the world. 31 years old, but he plays like a randy 14-year-old who's just started getting certain hormones pumping through their body. He plays like a man. Like, even here, when he goes full turtle and it looks like, wow, he's playing for late game, you know it's inevitable. He's going to push across this map. He's making DT Archons. Now, you might be wondering, why DT Archons? It's because they cost less gas. Hero has decided he's going to have plenty of minerals, but not enough gas this game. So he wants to save a bit of the gas, spend a bit extra minerals, because he doesn't think the minerals will matter, to get that Archon count up. He's got great upgrades. Plasma Shield's coming in, +3 armor on the way as well. Hero is building to the late game. REYNOR only now starting that Spire. He's floating so much money. This is that big criticism I've always said about REYNOR. Very rarely goes for a quick Greatest Spire. Normally not a problem, because Hero normally attacks you, but Hero really playing against his image this game. Hero is playing way more defensive and turtley than he normally does. Battery Overcharge here would actually be really good, but does let a few Archons and Immortals go down. 1 Archon and 1 Immortal. A lot of Zerglings died for it, though. It wasn't free. 3,000 or 2,300 resources lost advantage for Hero. Hero is also up in workers. Double Spire and Neuroparasites on the way as well. Feels like REYNOR is begrudgingly being forced to the late game. There's no Storm. It is literally just Immortals, Archons, and Stalkers. This is a crazy army to be attacking with, but man, he's got 10 Archons! Well, Banelings are worthless. Roach Ravager ain't good against this. REYNOR has just sat on Ravagerling Bane for far too long. His army's hit an expiry date. Ultras aren't going to necessarily cut it as well. There's only 3 Immortals, but still, he's only got like 1 or 2 Ultras. Fungal's trying to come down. Bile's trying to break the force field. The Baneling Cocoon's getting killed before they even finish morphing here. I think REYNOR has to back out of this base and find the correct engagement. I don't think he can attack in a clump. He's going for it. He's going for it. Fungal gets in there. The Banelings mostly washing up on Immortal barriers and shields. Fungal going down. Bile spreading across the line. Has Hero overcommitted? I'm not sure. The Queens do take out the Oracles. The Ravagers are left standing. Oh my god, there's so many Stalkers. He's going to blink on him. He's going to blink on him. REYNOR needs reinforcements. If he can get these Ravagers back, get some more Ling Ultra, I do think REYNOR can hold. It is dangerously close. And remember, Hero has a lot of money in the bank. REYNOR's out of money right now. REYNOR's money is so low. He spent his entire bank on Banelings to defend this push. Stasis Trap gets Hero out of trouble, and I love it. For once, not overcommitting to the Warpins on the front. Hero is just calmly making +2 shields, making more Immortal Archon at home, pulling back to his batteries, and he's just going to build up before going for another round. That is a great way to do it. You killed a base, you killed some drones. REYNOR does not have the economy. He's only on 63 workers, and he now finds himself in a situation where he has to play Hail Mary, Wet Willy StarCraft. Now, you might be saying, what does that mean? What is Hail Mary, Wet Willy StarCraft, Pig? It's very, very important, guys. Basically, it's where you take your tentacle, you lick it, you stick it in the ear of the Immortals and the Archons, and you make them hit each other. It is the magic Zerg mind control. I take Protoss units and make them hit each other. If REYNOR can't pull off a big neural move like he did in that Showtime game on this very map in the EU regionals before Atlanta, you guys know what I'm talking about. Neural Parasite turning an entire Immortal Archon army against itself. One of his most amazing comebacks of recent times. If he can't do that here against Hero, Hero's army is getting better with every second that goes by. Double Robo Immortal. There are 6 Immortals on this map. 3, soon to be 2 upgrades. That's right, +2 Plasma Shields almost done. REYNOR stuck on 3-2. He does have Adrenal Glands, missing 1 Carapace upgrade. Not really the end of the world, but it does mean his Zerglings don't fight nearly as well versus Zealots as they otherwise could have. What a series we've got going for us here. And going right down to the wire in Game 7. Hero is going to try and expand to the bottom left. Thinking about trying to take the top, but that was blocked by a Burrowed Zergling. Infestors and Ultras. Man, this is... you need Vipers as well. If you want to make a comeback... Like, REYNOR needs to realize how bad the spot is. If he doesn't drop Blinding Clouds, it doesn't matter how good his Neurals and Fungals are, he will get wiped. There's just way too much well-upgraded Immortal Archon. So the trick is... if he can get 2 Vipers filled with energy, ambush Hero, land Fungal Blinding Cloud all across the army so it can't shoot, and then Neural Parasite a bunch of the Immortals and Archons and try to flank with Ultras if possible as well. He's only using Neural right now, and technically this could work, but it just means he's got even less margin for error without the advantage of the Blinding Cloud. His army comes in, it's a bit of a distraction. Mass Ling goes in the north side, we'll click on that shield battery. He does get chased away in the bottom, but he starts going back in, realizing he knows Hero will have split a lot of army to deal with that. If he can shove in here and punish him, that'd be great. 10 probes go down. The Zerglings do start to take out the Zealots, but he has to leave because he does not have an Overseer. DTs will deflect him for now. Overlord speed is on the way. There's only one Overseer, and it is down the south with this army. Great Aspire is finally morphing. You know what's crazy, guys? He's had Blink, but he really hasn't had any Stargate tech or anything. Broodlord Infestor would have been amazing in this game. Neural Parasite! Neural Parasite could be big! He's stealing the Immortals, the Infestor's coming forward, the Ultra's in front! Oh! It's the Zerg Wet Willy! It's going! Massive, massive Wet Willy there! Biles landing on those Immortals as well, focusing them down! REYNOR, the king of Neural Parasite, doing it again! From the brink of defeat, he sticks that Wet Willy right into Hero's ear, and he whispers sweet nothings to the Protoss and says, "Stab yourself, mate, stab yourself." Immediately, Hero just starts picking up a knife and chopping into his own body, hacking at his own flesh. The Stalker defense, man, there's just so much Zerg coming in, but great blink back micro so far. The Fungals are stopping him from microing. Oh, the Archon just broke out. There's an Observer there. The Infestors are all dying. Did he chase too far? Did he chase too far? REYNOR, his attack is petering out right now. Remember, REYNOR does not have an economy behind this. He's only on 65 workers. He gets 16 worker kills. He kills a lot of stuff, but he loses a lot of his own units. He's got more Ultras and Lings rallying in from behind. He's got to get the Infestors out. He just lost 9 Infestors. If he kept all those Infestors alive, they would have been so much value in the long run. Right now, he's still trying to fight. He doesn't have the numbers. He's got to wait for those Ultras. They're slow to build, slow to rally. Ultras take 39 seconds to build. They are big boys. He kills 21 probes, though, so REYNOR should have the checkmate because Hero may have a lot of bases, but he's got no probes. 45 probes. He's transferring them around right now. And as REYNOR, all you need to do is just keep expanding, and I think you've got this. He's got a massive supply lead, but REYNOR is actually thinking he's all in. You can tell because he's not expanding. REYNOR's going all in. He basically thinks Hero has way too many bases. I have to win now or never. He thinks he's got to win. He's lost situational awareness of the game. We see this happen to even the best players in the world. It's a game of limited information. It's not even because he's panicking. It's just, I would feel the same if I was in his shoes, but it's just Hero has less probes than a normal Protoss player. Hero is not really a macro boy. Hero is a bit of a crazy person. Here we go. He's looking for a big fight in the south side. He's going to go in there right now. The Immortal Archon. Oh, it's the Immortal Stalker, sorry, pulling back right now, and Neural does go down on one of those Immortals, but the Cannon Battery, you can't chase in there. You can't chase in there, not like this, REYNOR. Oh, great defensive positioning for Hero. Yes, the Immortal did some damage, he turns and kills it, but REYNOR is definitely fighting into the defensive structure and static of Hero. Hero with perfect pullback micro. Fungal is not enough. REYNOR does take out the northern base, though. That base is gone, this base is still alive. He keeps going, he's looking for the engagements, he's trying to take down Hero's army. Hero's engagements are flawless. He is hanging on by tooth and nail, trying to survive. Oh, okay, he's going back in there. The fungal does land. He gets a big ambush. Oh no, Reynor. He gets the ambush. Oh, Hero losing all of his valuable units. A massive, massive problem right there. A massive problem. So many units getting caught by fungal, but the DTs are tearing him up. The DTs are on him. They can also maybe block those ultras. Oh, big damage going down right here. Dude, what an absolutely amazing hot mess of a game this is. Reynor just needs to expand, and he's still in a good position in this game. I don't think Hero can recover, but Reynor feels like he's all in. He feels like these bases are so low on minerals, he can't really afford to expand. He has to go, and he's all in now. Because now he's only got these minerals and these. He spent all of his money. He can't build more hatcheries. He's trying to force the issue. Hero is hanging on. Hero is hanging on. But I'm telling you, with Hero's micro and the defensive positioning on the south, you can maybe get rid of this base. Can you get rid of anything else? I do not know. Zergling going after pylons there. Zergling's going to try to go around the north. He's trying to, of course, bait these stalkers into the open, but with no way of clearing the observers, you can see that Hero is microing fantastically well. Fungal does catch some of those probes, as well as the stalkers. Most of the probes do escape. 2 stalkers going down. In the north, Zealots running into this base. The last mining base of Reynor, he cannot afford to lose mining there. He's sending back a few Zerglings, but he only has a few Zerglings to send back. He actually can't handle those Zealots. There we go, finally. Zerglings get in there, but oh my god, the blink forward! The blink forward from so far down in the army supply for so long. But remember, every bit of gas that comes in is being able to make Archon Stalkers these very efficient units on the defense with the batteries. Hero with an absolutely heroic hold, playing to his namesake. And just playing like an absolute Chad gamer, a hero, a beast. Income right now, way ahead for Hero because he's got a freshie. You've only got this up here. If Reynor has another base mining, he'd be good, but this base is way too close. He shouldn't want that base. He should look to overwhelm on the sides with an Overseer, a pack of Zerglings. That hatchery gets cancelled. If he takes the top right, I think he's in a good spot. It's so hard to say, though, because now his army supply is only dead even. He just has nowhere to mine from. Half of these drones should be long-distance mining. He should take about 15 of those drones, long-distance mine them. Oh, the Zerglings. Got to be careful. Reynor has no meat right now, guys. He's still got 5 of these wet willy beasts trying to recharge their energy. The Ultra Cavern is there. 2 Ravagers, 4 Queen. It's just there's no meat. It's so weak to Archons, this Zergling-based army. I do like that he's got the Overseer squad over there now. And he should try to hunt these Zealots down. But he doesn't know where they are. And they're going to come in, snipe that base, and that will put him in the dumpster. Hero right now playing off pure instinct. I mean, this is honestly reminding me of 2019 BlizzCon. Round of 16 group stage. Hero versus Reynor to decide who gets out of the group. It was down to the wire. This was right before Hero went to the military, the last big tournament he played in. It was the tournament where Reynor made his first massive championship grand finals at the World Champs. They were so close. It was neck and neck. It was down to the wire, low economy. They both reset each other's economies. It was an epic series. And it was kind of a bittersweet farewell for Hero before he went to the military. But this time around, he is the one who's fighting back from a terrible spot. It was Reynor who had the advantage, or actually Hero had the advantage and he gave it away last time. This time, he's playing from behind, and yet he's found himself back in a decent spot. He transfers the workers down here. He's got this base up and mining with an Archon and a cannon there, as well as some Zealots which are escaping the north. A single Corruptor is building, and I think that's a good idea. You might be wondering, why is he doing that? Well, he could make a Broodlord and kite, but I think it's to kill the Observer. I think he's basically decided this Observer's a problem, and he doesn't want to waste 2 Fungals to kill a single Observer, because obviously Hero will just replace that and be like, oh, if I can drain Infestor energy just by continually building Observers, this will be awesome. Reynor's back up massively in the army lead. Just remember, it's terrible against Storm. If Hero makes Psystorm... Oh my god! I have not seen this game. Just in case anyway, there's going to be people like, I knew Pig pre-watched these games to sound smart. I knew he did! Yeah, no, it just makes sense. If he realizes how Zergling-focused Reynor is, which he has now, then that's massive. It's so huge, because Storm is just going to basically make Lingbane worthless. You got a bunch of Archon Immortal to deal with the Ultras, and the Storm is going to be the way to do it. Damn. What an exciting Game 7 this is. I'm so happy watching this right now. I'm so happy. He's going to make 2 Broodlords, guys. These guys need names. Oh, wait, there's a third one. I was going to say Beavis and Butthead, but since there's a third one, I don't know. I can't remember the 3 Musketeers names. They have some weird names that I'm probably not going to have fun saying a lot. Billy, Bob, and Boris, we're going to call him. That's Boris. He's lagging behind Billy Bob up there. Billy, Bob, and Boris, the 3 Broodlords. They are going to try and make the comeback happen. I think Broodlord Infestor is one of the most amazing comps. The problem is, if Hero realizes it's Broodlords, he can split up and counterattack the bases. And at some point, he's probably going to catch your Broodlords without enough support, storm the Ling Bane away, blink on them, kill the Broodlords. You need Meteor support, which is where Ultras come in. Blinding Cloud reactively with a single Viper could be great. Rain is very focused on Infestors this game. I do think... Imagine if you had Vipers during all that micro as well. I know feedback's a thing, but like just every now and then abducting an Immortal or Archon would be so good. Oh, watch out for the High Templar! Storm energy isn't quite there. They're at 72 energy and 64 energy. This base getting back up is huge. That's a lot more minerals and gas available. Reynor, he's only taken one base. These bases are mining out. He needs more bases, but he has only got 2 mining bases right now. One of them half mined out. Oh no, Reynor! He loses so many Zerglings. He was looking at these Zerglings up here. He does take down the cannon, starts to kill some of those probes. He does have Burrow. He could try to hide. He turns around, surrounds some Zealots, but he's got to let those Zerglings heal, I believe. I mean, nice choice to Burrow to try and be annoying, but it looks like with the Observer, all of those Zerglings get cleaned up. Only 4 probes go down. Great fight for Hero. Hero is down 1,000 resources in the units lost. But that last fight was great. No doubt about it. He's got a lot of Storm in the mix. These Zerglings just cannot fight front on. They absolutely have to catch Hero out of position, but Hero is probably going to start leaving a High Templar at each of his bases now, realizing how important Storm will be. Or maybe just some Archons and extra cannons. Because if he's got Storm nearby, you're going to be in trouble. He's going to try and roll Banes in. Is Reynor. Hero, of course, will spot this momentarily. We'll shut that one down. The Broodlord count is growing. If Reynor took that top right, it would force Hero to do something about it. Right now, Hero's chilling. He's just like, I'm making more Immortal Archon. I have 3-3-2. My units are good. And Reynor's like, making Broodlords, but he's making them slowly off 47 drones. And remember, oversaturated, oversaturated. And I think he must have other drones somewhere. Oh, I guess he's only got 47 workers, right? So it's the gas miners down here that make up the difference. Stalker Zealot Immortal Archon coming in. I think we want to go for Fungal to trap him rather than the Neural here. He's looking for the Neural, though. The fact that he's burrowed says he's looking for the Neural. Oh, wait, the Broodlords need to start a step. He needs to get out of here. These Broodlords cannot be in the open like this. These Broodlords need to get south to the dead space. He needs to pull them back or they're going to get taken out by Storm. The Infestors already taking a lot of damage from those Storms. Looks like the Lings went for a counterattack, but they pulled home. Looks like a bit of an F2. Reynor loses a base, loses 7 drones. He really should have taken this base out during that, or at least, like, you know, force the recall, but now it's just going to recall. And Reynor has to back off. Oh, I think he F2'd these units home, guys. That is a big problem. Hero's going to go for a giant attack now. He's got 18 Stalkers. He just warped in more Stalkers. 3-3-2 Stalkers against +3 Broodlings. The Broodlings will do damage, but he needs to get them over this sort of terrain here, and that's why top base is now going to get removed. Oh, no. Oh, no. Reynor needs to defend these bases. He's going to try and fungal some Stalkers. He gets a few of them. The army coming forward. The Lings are just not helpful. Remember, it's basically 4 Ultras and 10 Broodlords to fight this entire army. That is a giant Protoss armor. He's trying to lure him into the open. Storm and Blink is what he's looking for. Lings on the counterattack. The Ultras are over there as well. His Ultras need to be at home. Reynor needs those units supporting those Broodlords. His top base does go down. Broodlord's trying to fall back. He's got to be careful. Great Fungal to start. That Ultralisk will fall pretty quickly. The Broodlord's doing well from afar. The Ultras are here, but he's got to be careful. Those Broodlords need to siege. Oh! The Ultras push the Infestors in. Oh no, the Infestors just got taken out. There is no more Fungal, no Neural. The Storm is beating back the Broodlords. Oh me, oh my, he's beating him off harder. Then I'm not going to use that analogy. Will contain myself. The Archon will get surrounded on the retreat. Reynor has a great army. It's a conundrum. How do you break the Broodlords? But it's not really, because you just pull back and do whatever you want. You've got economy, Reynor doesn't. Yes, you killed a base, but look at the income right now, and you can see how big the difference is. Broodlords are on the hunt. They're going to chase down some of these High Templar, which is very nice. Infestor's trying to be rebuilt. Reynor knows he needs to counterattack. He's got to do something. He's got to do it now. If the Lings can surround those High Templar, that will be big. Oh, massive moves there. Does stop one of those from morphing, and should be able to take out that Archon as well. Nicely done. 4 High Templar. Big kills there. Zerglings cannot take out the cannon battery, though. He's got to run away. Stalker's going to block him. Block, block, block. Ooh, nice blink, but he got there just a second too late. The Zerglings mostly escaped, or at least a large number did. This is a scary moment for REYNOR in this game. No transfuses. Broodlords are so damaged just from getting tickled down by Storm. Apologies to those watching live. You're going to get hit by an ad break. There's nothing I can do about it. I've delayed as long as I can. Those watching on YouTube, thankfully you don't get hit by them at crazy hype moments. The Zerglings going after the Robo right now. The Robo will get sniped by the Zerglings. What in the hell is going on in this series? The Stalkers and the Zealots chasing after them. The Lings are going to try to back off. They go around the left side as well. The Lings all getting trapped. You can't be affording to bleed out units. The new hatchery is back up, but he's only on 19 workers. Hero has 43. Do you guys remember when there was the Infestors stole the whole army and REYNOR had almost max versus a 100 supply Hero? That happened in this game. Don't get me wrong, Hero had a lot of static defense to fall back on. Batteries and cannons are imba. Yep, you can say that if you want, but Hero fought so well to survive. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Absolutely, Twitch chat. The drones are going to go back to mining the minerals, no doubt, but a few more have died. REYNOR knows he needs to make a play, and he needs to make it soon. There is only one High Templar. Why is there only one High Templar? Hero forgot to remake Stormers. He's only got one High Templar. Storm is one of the most important things for cleaning up Broodlords. Well, I guess there's not many Zerglings, so it doesn't matter as much now, but normally you really want to get that. He's just going to try and blink on it and YOLO this, I think. He's recalling to the other side? Did he just recall a flank? Is that what that is? His army got kind of stuck. Okay, so he's recalling a counterattack. Oh, he's trying to use his mobility. Broodlords are very slow. So here, oh, he's going to try and... It's an ambush! It's an ambush! Oh! The Observer's tracking him! Hero baits the Broodlords into the open! The whole army running ahead of the Broodlords! And he intercepts the artillery train in the back of the army! Oh me, oh my! That is absolutely ridiculous! Beautiful ambush there. Gets how many Broodlords? 5 Broodlords go down. He takes out the top base at the same time. Both armies get away with minimal losses. That was a fantastic engagement. Oh me, oh my. Oh me, oh my. The Ultra Infestor Ravager Broodlord coming on down. The Broodlords are trying to rain down damage on this. This is absolutely ridiculous. The Ultras, Infestors, and Broodlords are still a problematic army to deal with. But there's so many units that are coming in from the north, and you can tell Hero's F2ing them. He's bringing his whole army down. He wants to encircle this. He wants to come in from all sides, so you can't protect the Broodlords. If he's blinking Stalkers from the north, Stalkers from the south, you will lose this fight when it comes. But right now, REYNOR on no economy. 9 drones and a ball of BS units. A ball of Zerg hanging out, trying to survive. The Ultra Ravager Broodlord Infestor trying to move south. Infestors. The Observer just went down. Oh, he blinks on it from 2 sides. The Immortal Archon in the north. The Immortals focusing the Ultras. The Stalkers focus the Broods. Now, the Stalkers just got obliterated. That was an incredibly inefficient trade, but it didn't matter. It was the trade he needed to do to finish that game off. Look at that final fight. Look at the way he sets it up. Waits for it. Waits for it. Goes north. He goes north, and he pulls back. He says, wait. I got to move the other guys in position. I got to move these guys up. We're going to hit both sides at the same time. Both sides at the same time. And then he comes in both sides at the same time. Army comes in here. And look at this. Let's zoom in a little bit. The Immortals will be focus firing the Ultras. The Stalkers blink in. They get Fungal Ultra destroyed. The Stalkers get absolutely destroyed. But it doesn't matter because the Stalkers from the top focus down some of the Broods. The Stalkers from the bottom focus the other. REYNOR had no income. And that will be GG.